Hello, hello, and happy Saturday. I'm Traverse JP, and this is the Academic Foxhole on a Saturday. Hey, everybody. Hello, the best maybe. The best maybe. Oh no, you're right. The music was, it was turned up. Thank you, PH. It was turned up because of because of the Thursday stream. I think it was turned up. Yeah, but I know what it is. It's fixed. It's fixed. It was well, no, PH, but see, PH, it was turned up to 11, you know? I mean, because some streamer audio, you know, they go up to like 10, right? But like ours goes up to 11. You know, when you're like just playing all out, right? You're just playing all out and then just like real loud and you're just going, but then you just want to like a little bit more, right? Like you're going all out, you're all out, but then you want like a little bit more. So like, so ours goes to 11. Hey everybody, I turned down the game. Hey Cyclonus, Krella, PH, the best mate. Hello Emmanuel, how are you? Hey. But why not make 10 letter? But ours goes to 11. Good morning. Hey everybody. So how are you doing? How are you? I have thoughts. Hello Beetlewinds, how are you? So I had some thoughts. There's been a bunch of stuff in the last hour and a half. It's almost hitting it early. 0 to 40. Look, I'm good. I'm right the camera. Okay. Oh, you know what? I don't. Sorry. You know what? Here. Wait. I don't have my lights up. Give me a second. I can't believe it. I was like, I think I've got everything ready for stream, and then I forgot. There you go. Good time zone. Good morning. It says after. Look, if you look there, like I have very interesting ways of telling time. It's morning if you get, okay, so here's how it happens. There's like objective morning and there's subjective morning. Just like there's objective the next day and subjective the next day. So for example, if I haven't gone to bed yet, it's not the next day yet. So if I go to bed at 4 in the morning, it's like, let's say go to bed. Okay, so let's say, what day is today? Today's Saturday, right? So let's say go to bed at 4 in the morning tonight. Some people would say, you went to bed on Sunday in the morning. No, because it's not Sunday yet until I go to sleep. That's how that works, because subjective days tell me that it's still Saturday until I go to sleep and wake up again. Right? That's the subjective day. Every day is Blur's Day now. Oh, Devil Crayon, why are you speaking the truth right now? Why are you speaking the truth? That's my question. Cyclonus says, I'm enjoying the fact that this weekend Japan decided it's time for wrestling. So I'm working on the first show today. They're just ooh, nice. And Krell's like, that's why time no longer has any meaning. It's true. But then I also feel like morning, like you wake up, like I feel like you've got like a couple of hours after you wake up for it to be morning, even if like, this is why it's so, okay, so look, I'll be upfront with you all. I am not one of those people that wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know that there are people who are like, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I am not one of those people. There are times when I did wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning because I had to, because I was in the army, but that is not what I like to do. I don't like to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's not my jam. Krell's like, I wake up at 6 a.m., but I wish I didn't. Right. When I wake up at 6 a.m., I wish I didn't. And so, are you fortunate enough to have 8 a.m. classes? I usually have a 9 a.m. class once a week, or 9 a.m. seminar once a week. That's like with my teaching schedule, I usually have like once a week a 9 a.m. seminar, and then twice a week a lecture class at like 1 or 3, kind of depends on how the schedule's laid out. So usually once a week I have to wake up at 7 to get ready for the 9 a.m. class, but the rest of the time I don't have to wake up at 7, so I don't. I wake, like, my preferred wake up time. Sphinx! Ooh, we got a sub! We got a sub! You know what that means? You know what that means, everybody. Also, because I've not yet fixed the audio, although I've started working on it, so I'm very excited about that. Since I've not yet fixed the audio, you have to let me know when subs come in and the whatnots so that I can, you know, sing the song. Sphinxerall, you have just subbed, and I want to thank you for the sub, and for the thank you, you know what that means, because you've been subbed here for 4 months. You know what it means. It means the name game. But before I do it, I want to finish that thought, so I'll forget it. So, like, I like to wake up at 10. Like, in my perfect world, I'd wake up at 10, get up, work out, have breakfast. Like I'd wake up at 10. This allows me to go to bed at 2 in the morning and still get hours of sleep. So, like, that's for me, like, the perfect sweet spot is waking up at 10. And so if you wake up at 10, noon is only 2 hours after you've woken up, and so noon still feels like morning. I understand that technically once you hit noon, you're in the once you go up like a minute past noon, you are in the afternoon, because that's like what the word means. But like, it still feels like the morning because I'd only been awake for 2 hours. Like, if I woke up at like 5 in the morning, like some people, and have been doing like a gazillion things for like a billion hours, then I think that noon would feel like afternoon to me. But like, I like to wake up at 10 if I can, and then go to sleep at like something inappropriate, preferably 2, but often 4. You know, so that's just. So anyway, for me, I feel like you got a zone. Like, unless you wake up at something really inappropriate, like 5 in the evening, then it's all different. But like, I just feel like you get a zone of about like 3 hours where it's morning. That's all. That's all. Thank you for the good morning, Sphinxerall. Oh, you have to be up by 7. That's when the kids get fed. Oh, Krellin, that makes a lot of sense. So how does one win the name game? By being able to name game super complicated things is like, I think, how you win the name game. PH, I feel like that's how you do it. So, Sphinxerall. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or rainbow. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can rhyme. Sphinxerall, Sphinxerall, bo, binks, bow, banana, fana, fo, finxerall, fee, fi, mo, minxerall. Sphinxerall, Hey, Sphinxerall. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the sub. That resub is awesome. What did I miss? I missed something. Krellin thinks that you win the name game, have your name rhymed. I think that's also a win. Hiccuping Book says it's 11:36 a.m. for me, and West Coast, it's only 9:36 a.m. So it's still morning. Yeah, right? Yeah. When you have West Coast fans, noon is still, you know, here's the thing about my sleep habits. I will tell, which is like, my zone is all over the dang place lately. This is, I feel like, about the coronavirus. I feel like that's what this is about, for real, because it's always Blur's Day. But I have a thought about that. Vola says, we had tiered wake-up system at FDF. Some woke up at 6, 6:30, etc. to beat breakfast groups, woke up around... Yeah. Totally. You are an owl, and you are not allowed... I am one, too. Hey, I can be an owl. Crit Twitch says, I went to bed at 1:30, I still got up at 6 a.m. How? Crit Twitch, that's unfair. Unfair. Competitive name game, new esport coming this fall. I could see how you could do it. Like, you have a panel of people for the competitive name game, and they're all there, and like the name game starts, and then you just like hold up cards and they have to just go at the minute. They don't get any time, and like, yeah, and then like you time them. So like if you can get the name, if you can get your name game in quickly but with no mistakes, then you win. Good thing Voldemort hasn't subbed to this channel. That's true. My writing speed spot is between 11 and 2 in the night. Yeah. Hey, I'm actually pretty good at the like in the afternoon. I'm good in the afternoon. Like if you get me like working, if I get to start work around like noonish, I'm like pretty good for productive for writing. But there's a thing I wanted to tell you, and now I feel like I forgot what it was. Oh yeah. West Coast. So here's the thing about the West Coasts, the West Coasts. I have a lot of streamers that I follow who are on the West Coast, and although that has historically been true, but I've added more East Coast streamer friends, which is really great. I do appreciate that because, like, look, here's the thing. A lot of streamers are West Coast, which means they will stream, 6 or 7 their time, which is 9 or 10 my time, and then they will finish midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 in the morning my time. And so I've just kind of gotten used to kind of a West Coast time zone situation, which puts me going to bed at 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning a lot. So like, when I went over to Seattle for Geek Girl Con, it was great because I was like, hey, I'm going to bed at like 11 or midnight. I'm waking up at like 8 in the morning. It's no big deal. So I felt super like a cool kid waking up early because I was because I don't know, because I'm always on West Coast time. I feel like that's the thing. I was in a fight with a physiotherapist who was, you all must be asleep at 10. I run personally out on a US time, 22 Central. So I know that it is apparently better for your circadian rhythms or whatever, your whatever, if you go to bed by 10, because then you're asleep by 1. Basically it's like better for your body, physiologically, and I'm sure that's true. I'm sure nobody would lie to me about that. However, what am I supposed to do? Why do I come into a big call? Hoffar's tournament, we're calling out ourselves. It's just like a self call out. That's all. My body, says Hickering Boots, my body likes to wake up around 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and be asleep by 10 or 11, but rarely does it get what it wants. You know how the song goes, you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. And maybe what you need is to be up super late. I don't know. I'm not judging you. But I will say, what's really interesting? By the way, we're gonna just put the game on because I'm sure we have to wander from one place to another. So I'm sure we can just, we're playing. Oh, hey, will you all do me a favor? Look, we're just gonna walk. Look, I need you to do me a favor. I want you all to sell my consumables. I'm not a bug. Circadian rhythms. What about not circadian rhythms, but cicadas? There was a thing. Oh gosh. My inventory's good. My inventory is good, good for certain values of good is what it is. I feel like I'm under 200, so I feel like I'm really good. My buddy loves being up when the nut jobs sleep. And what have bugs to do with my sleep? They're loud. They're too loud to that's fair. Cicada for inaccurate values of good. Yeah, okay, they might be. So that's all my armor. What is this? What's in here? Oh, okay, look, I've got food in here. So this is great. So I can transfer food, right? So I've got stuff in the locker. I'm just gonna put food. I'll put some food in this locker. right? Maybe not all of it, but I'll put some of it. Do you have to play that video again? That video was so great, by the way. My inventory puts all the junk in the yard, and I'm more encumbered than you. That's right, more encumbered than you. I could dump things, but then I'd have to poo. No, none of that works at all. That is not even how that song works. That's not even great. Let's store that. I do need money. It's bad. There are a couple of family crows living in the trees outside my house. They look at 4 a.m. and then so does the rest of the street. No. Ooh, no, wait, let's so look, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just throw some things in the other space. Like I won't go wild or anything, but oh wow, that looks really great. Spacer's choice stuff. Why would I get rid of any of this? Why wouldn't I keep it here? We'll just see. We're just and then look, I've got 32 of these Raptidon meats, and I don't need 32 Raptidon meats. Maybe I need the Raptidon meats. What if I need? No, we're gonna put that in storage. And then we can put in just like I won't go wild and put everything into storage because that seems excessive, but hello, Origami Shuriken, how are you? What are you doing? What is new and exciting with you? Okay, look, I have just gone down to 113 pounds, and so, well, boom, there. How great is that? I was awesome. Pick one version of health food and sell them all the other versions. They're like, oh. Ooh, Persona 4. Sub 100. Krellin. All right, okay. I will get myself under 100 somehow. I won't get rid of the Adreno. I've got to, what is this? All right, I'm gonna get under 100. What is this? This is a pick-me-up pill. Yeah, we'll store that. Sure. That didn't weigh hardly anything. Oh. Okay, what is this? We'll get rid of these noodles. That didn't do anything. What is this? Natural health regeneration. That doesn't... Oh, wait, can I sort this? I can't even sort it. What is this? Spacer's choice. We'll store that. I know. I got it. Don't store it. Well, sell. But what if I need the food? Like, what if I need the food? Sell low, buy high. Maybe. Okay, wait. There's 16 of these. What is this? Breath inhalant. Yeah, we'll get rid of that too. We'll store it. You're playing Animal Crossing. I'm hoping I'm prepared for dark matter tomorrow, as I think am. Oh. I will never. I realize that I'm not really doing a lot of food eating. Oh, what is this? Let's get rid of that. Let's just store that. Look, I'm at 109. Monarch is the hardest place. If you're not using the food now, you'll never use it. Is Monarch the hardest place? Really? Oh. If alternative universe trooper is playing this game at the same time and has less than 100, and our trooper is above 100, the harmony's being reached. Oh, right? That's... Maybe I just need to find heavier things, and then here. Like, this looks... What is that? That's, whatever that is, I don't need it. We're so... Right, once... I'm getting rid of... all sorts of stuff. Beetlewind says, you're the guy struggling on that last boss on Final Fantasy game, having 99 mega. Maybe Beetlewinds, that could be true. Maybe it is possible that this has happened to me before, where I'm on some final boss and I'm struggling and I'm like, how am I ever going to survive this? And then I have 99,000 health potions. That could be me. That could be me. That is a thing that is possible. None of the food is heavy. Well, it's not that it's the heavy. Maybe it's that I have a lot of it, you know? So I'm down to 105. I really feel like that's good. I feel like 105, right, is really, really good. You know what I wish I could do? I wish I could just... Here, we'll put this in there too. Oh, this could be a hoarder intervention. All right, so I'll take this, I'll let go of the sliced bread, but what if I need the sliced bread? And here, what is this? Spacer's choice. We'll dump that too. Oh my goodness. And also this apple juice. We'll just dump the apple. What if I need the apple juice? Just dead cats at the bottom of the inventory. Carl's like, Trooper. Dehydrated water. What if I need the dehydrated? Okay. Well, look, I'm down to 102. I'm down to 102. I won't be. And I'll get rid of the tartarus sauce. Boom, 101. And then I'll get rid of. Let it go, and I'll get rid of the ketchup. I'm at 100. I'm supposed to be sub 100. Okay. This, I'll get rid of these purple berry lunches. 98 pounds. Boom. That's it. That's it. I 98. I'm under 100. That's it. I did it. It was very stressful. Wait, I won the game? Oh. Hey. But what if I need the space fish? Did you still ketchup? I totally still ketchup all the time. I know. What if I don't have any tartar sauce? So who am I taking with me right now? I'm going to take Nyoka because we're on her planet. And I feel like maybe I should take Ellie with me. Let's just take Ellie and Nyoka for a bit. Because... Right? They seem like good people to have. Is your mid high enough to blend stuff to take more than one thing? Yes, it is. Keep them and store them in a different locker and then take everything else to the nearest vending machine and just sell it. Oh, Parvati's awesome. But like we're on this no tartar sauce. What do you... I love a good tartar sauce. I can like sometimes like I just like do the thing and heal myself up and eat the food at the same time. I feel this is when Trooper secretly moves that last save file to a different location so they can go back. No. Here's one thing with me. I will tell you. Okay, this is a weird thing about me. Or maybe, since you've seen how I handle inventory, you won't think it's weird at all. I do this thing where I have more than one save. Like I'll have my last save and the save before last. So I'll usually have like 2 saves. But I never go back to them. Like if I make a bad choice, I don't save scum. It's like I don't do it. Like I don't save scum. So like, well, I made the choice. That's the choice I made. But I always have 2 backups. But I don't know why. Because I don't save scum. So yeah, Artie, like, see, Artie, you're like me. You usually have 4 saves you rotate through. I usually have like between 2 and 4 saves that I rotate through. But I don't save scum. So the question is, why in the world do I even have it? But here's the answer. Here's the answer. What if there is, and this has happened when I was playing The Witcher 1, which I never finished because it actually is really glitchy, is that sometimes there are glitches that might cause your game to crash, and if you have multiple saves you could roll back to before the glitch happened, so sometimes that's helpful. Yes, Artie, this is what I'm saying. You and I, we are together ninja-ing each other, where you just need to have multiple rollbacks in case there are glitches. Yes, see, Beetle, this is me. For Obsidian and Bethesda games, I always have like 4 saves that I'm rotating through just in case there's some sort of like game ending. And that's a bad thing. I shouldn't have to do that. But just in case there is some sort of game ending bug that I need to, you know, be aware of. I'm just saying that these are possible problems. what? Okay, let's go here. I don't even know what we're doing here, but let's go there. Let's fast travel. Oh, Control Freak! Sub! It's been a year, Control Freak. The name game. Come on, everybody. I say now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name. I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F. Or an M will appear. And then I say boo at a B. Then I say the name. Then banana, fan, or info. And then I say the name again with an F very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time. And there isn't any name that I can rhyme. Control Freak, Control Freak, Control Freak, Control Freak, banana, fan, info, Control Freak, fee, fi, mo, Control Freak. Control Freak. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the sub. Also, I had something I wanted to tell you. And be boodle. But if the first two letters are ever the same, I drop them both and say the name like Bob. Bob drop the B's, Bo, or Fred. Fred drop the F's, fo, red, or Mary. Mary drop the M's, mo, airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Be boodle floof, be boodle floof, bo, e boodle floof, banana, fana, foofy, foodle floof, fee, fi, mo, me, boodle floof. Be boodle floof, 19 months of love. Hey, Be Boodle, I don't know if you know this. Be Boodle is pretty awesome, and Be Boodle Floof makes these cool crocheted boodles, right? Like they're boodles or they're Be Boodles. Would you, Be Boodle? Will you drop a link in chat to your Be Boodles or your boodles? Your because they're, I want people to see them because they're so cute. If you would, you don't have to do it. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm not the boss of you. You know what I mean? You don't have to put a link if you don't want to. But if you did want to, boodle floofs. If you did want to drop a link to your boodle floofs, I would think that's cool because they are super adorable. They're so adorable. Maybe. I don't even know what to say. Artie Snack is like, I do ever save scum at times depending on the game. I think there's only one. There's like one instance where I would save scum. And I really have only, I think, done it once. Like I rarely do it. And it's usually for one particular reason. That reason is because I have misunderstood something, right? So where I as a player sometimes the game is not clear, so I make a choice, but what the choice is not what they said it was, right? So it did not feel fair. Like when I wanted my character to be consoling, so I choose the consoling option that says, for example, like there's like a dialogue wheel, and the dialogue wheel is like, hey, that's okay. I hate you, and you pick, hey, that's okay, when you pick that one, it's like, hey, that's okay, you're the worst ever, and I hate you. You're like, nope, that was not the choice I wanted. I wanted a consoling choice, right? So sometimes the choice options are actually not clear, and you pick a choice meaning to do one thing, but it gives you a different thing, and that was not what you meant to do. So that is a time when I might actually roll back, because their instructions were not clear, and that was not what I was meaning to do. So I don't normally roll back, but I will if they've been unclear. B Boodle says, I lost a 200 Morrowind save once. Installed the wrong mod, got corrupted save. No. Beetle wins. No. Also, Morrowind's my favorite Elder Scrolls game. Yeah. Devil Crayon says, yep, for that time when some quest script bug won't progress and you have to go back and yeah. Hey, Takarash, I'm doing really well. I'm doing very well. Name game for Control Freak. I don't know why people like mayo or mayo-based sauces though, y'all freaks. Oh, I like a good mayo. I like a lot of different sauces. I'm a fan of sauces. Like I will have way different sauces all the time. Takarash, my location is 78.8 Fahrenheit, so I've retreated. That is understandable. That is understandable. Um, I don't even judge you for that one. Hey, Baron Von Blast. I'm just scrolling up. I've been playing Outer Worlds since yesterday. How's it going? Oh, thank you. It's going well. Again, I've been playing Outer Worlds since playing. It's good. Volpez, I have a thought about mayo versus vinegar, and I'll tell you in a second. If you play Ultimate Game Boy, you cannot save, but after a week, you get finger memory. Mm-hmm. Vola says, will the journey of Aloy, the lemming, continue when the new... Yeah, although it's for PS5, right? So we've got to get a new one, right? So, but I'll do it, and then it'll be fine. Baron says, I have that so often. I analyze answers and oftentimes just get something I did not intend at all. It frustrates me. Yeah, that totally frustrates me a lot. And sometimes it's better than other times. I think that the...
So what's the plan?
No, give me a second. BioWare games have gotten much better, like Dragon Age, etc., where they actually give you a little icon letting you know what the tone of that answer is, because sometimes in the past they were not clear, and then I did not like that. I do love that losing a save file is the start of one of the Disgaea games. Really? Disgaea games? I didn't know that. How was that video I gave you yesterday? Oh, the one on the history of music? I was RPGing, and so I haven't had time, and I probably will not be able to watch it until between this stream and an RPG I'm doing offline, but then I will watch it. But I watched the very beginning of the history of music, and I loved it already because it was super snarky, and I don't know how ridiculous they're going to get in that video, but I am very excited to find out. That's fine, Trooper. That's just the Bethesda wheel, and your choices don't matter anyway. They're really just yes, 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 and yes sarcastic, but also actually yes. I will take it. Oh, I had another thought for you. I've been replaying XCOM 2, and I save scum a lot in that game. I'm going to play XCOM. I'm going to do it, by the way. Garlic mayo is lovely. I do love a garlic mayo. I found mayo that used to be too sweet. It's different from our stuff. Oh, interesting. Well, we have different mayos. You have to pick which mayo you want. We have different ones. Do you know what I mean? Like, although maybe all of our mayo is too sweet. Maybe. But I feel like I've had more sweet and less sweet mayo in the US. But, again, we might also just generally be more sweeter than yours. We do tend to be a bit sweeter in our taste. DC says, I've also been playing Wizards and Warriors from 2000, and I save scum a lot in it because character death is easy and expensive. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Good. Fallout 4 was the worst for that. The mayo versus vinegar comment was joking. No, but wait, Volpez, I have a comment about it, and it's about, Mass Effect was really bad. Mass Effect was really bad about having comments that did not actually mean what you thought they meant, and so I'm really excited that they got better on that one, because, seriously, I've left Terra 2 and now I'm captain of the Unreliable. Ooh, nice. Vicar, Max, and Parvati are my friends. They're my friends too. Also, how you actually end up romancing characters you did. Yeah. Now it is almost impossible to actually romance characters you did not intend to. I'm still mad. I'm still mad about Ashley in Mass Effect 1. Because, like, we were like chatting in a maybe flirtatious way, but not exactly, like for like a hot 5 seconds until I realized she was like a human supremacist, and I was like, no, Ashley, you and I are not, nothing's ever gonna happen between us. But then like in game 2, she's like, what about our relationship? I was like, we do not have a relationship. We have never had a relationship. We have not had a relationship. Ashley. And then she's judging me, and she's all like, oh, after our relationship, I can't believe you'd like a horrible traitor. I was like, Ashley, we are not friends. Like, I don't want to talk to you. You have gross politics. And also now you're accusing me of being an evil traitor after we've been through everything together in Mass Effect 1? No. Like, I saved her. Kaden died, and she did not in my playthrough. Mostly because I actually did not realize what that choice meant, but I didn't save scum in. I was like, well, that was a choice I made. Because I made it for in-game reasons. I was like, oh, we need somebody who's really good at tech to hold down this thing. And Caden's better at tech than she is, so yeah, I'll have him hold down this thing. I didn't realize that was a death save choice, but that was the choice I made, so I lived with it. But then, like, she was, like, acting like we were dating, and we were never dating. We never had a romantic cutscene. Never happened. Then she's judging me, and I was like, Ashley, no. oh, and she's like, and they're like, and at Mass Effect, they're like, she can join your team. I was like, no, she cannot. She cannot. You can just stay on your planet, hanging out with the council and the grossness. You can just be over, not the planet, but like the Citadel. You can just be on the Citadel and not be in my space. I have feelings about Ashley. I don't know if you noticed. Yeah. I'm just telling you, I had feelings about it. Options are like say yes, say no, politely decline, and choose politely decline, and your character is like, fuck you. I know. I hate when that happens in games. Atomica says the most painful save story I have is I had hundreds of hours on an SNES RPG called Inido, Way of the Ninja. A cousin visited from Florida, oh no, and I went to turn the game off, but he asked to try it. Keep in mind, I'm like 12 and he's in his late 20s at the time. He starts a new game and plays for 5 minutes, then goes to save, and I tell him not to, but he does it anyway. I lost my save and never came back to Massachusetts. I was heartbroken and never beat the game. That is awful, Atomica. That is awful. Ugh. Yeah, I like Parvati too. I think she's great. I had forgotten just how much I love XCOM 2, especially XCOM War of the Chosen. I need to play XCOM. That's all. I'd have to do it. Ashley isn't actually a human supremacist. She was just raised poorly. Well, I think that she goes through a growth arc perhaps, but she says things and I just did not have time for it. Yeah, Baron von Blast, certainly. Ask me something. Ask me a thing in DMs. Do it. I'm here for it. Give me a thing. There was weird. Okay. Suddenly Troopers Taylor Swift, maybe. In Mass Effect, I got the scene where all the women in the game came and demanded I choose, and I was like, damn, I just wanted to check in on you. Beetle wins. I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. That is all. The choice between Ashley and Caden, I don't want neither of them. Volus, I appreciate you. Yeah, Ashley's a bit, yeah. Actually stopped my note taking for that, and I love that you called it that. Yeah, I love the rants that come from accidental Mass Effect 1 romances. You're so kawaii. Not at all. I chose to divert power to Edgewater and made the deserters go home. Oh, I didn't. I didn't. So like people, it's fine. People hate me. Ash is the worst. Kate is just sentient cardboard. Like neither one of them. Yeah, I just did not romance anyone in Mass Effect 1, even though Ashley thought that I was romancing her, but I was not. I didn't romance anyone because I had feelings that was about not wanting to romance any of them. She gets better. Yeah, she does get better in ME3 if you constantly give her the benefit of the doubt and be super understanding, which is so very frustrating, ridiculous, and so right. And like if I were invested in her, maybe, but here's the problem. Did I make the right choice? The old cranky lady's not. Maybe. Krellin says that you made the right choice. Abolek says, hey, Trooper, you amazing person, you. I thought about you this morning when I had a maple donut. I want a maple donut. Donut. So I think when I knew I was really done with Ashley, like when I was done with Ashley, when I was like, no, you and I, is when she was all super, super messed up to me in Mass Effect 2, when she was not giving me any kind of, not giving me any benefit of the doubt in Mass Effect 2. Like at all, right? Like I die, I come back and she's like, you're basically the worst ever. And I was like, okay, like she was so harsh on me, Ashley, and I was like, Ashley, I was dead, I get reconstituted, and now you're like, oh. I was super polite to Ashley in Mass Effect 1, we had bonding, all that business, and then in Mass Effect 2, she is like super harsh on me, and look, I just feel like that's her personality, so whatever, but I was done with her. I was like, I'm not, you and I are not hanging out anymore, is what it is. Hey, Baron Tor. I just really want donuts now. I'm going to have to get donuts for tomorrow. This is what I'm going to do. So Half-Arsed Hermit said a thing that's which brought me back on topic. Oh, speaking of being on topic, I should walk somewhere. Or we're fine right here. Is there anybody I need to kill? No. Okay. So I never liked Ash or Caden. Nephilim, I get you, Nephilim. Like, Caden was okay, but, like, whatever. A Nutella-filled chocolate-coated donut this morning was amazing. That sounds amazing. So, Half-Arsed, this is what happened. this is what happened. So a couple things. So I'm gonna, because here I am, I'm just gonna agree with you, Hoffarst. If you never played Mass Effect 2 without importing yourself, it was hilarious. Shepard literally made the wrong choice for everything. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my goodness. And also, Missile Monkey, yes, you left me in that horrible place. I died, you selfish child. Yeah, right? Okay, so here's the thing. Mass Effect 1, and you have to understand that I was in the military, so this also impacts the way that the romances work for me. So I have a crew who are in my direct chain of command, and that is Kaidan. So Kaidan is in my direct chain of command, so I could never romance Kaidan or Dr. Chakwas. I basically couldn't romance any of the core members of the ship because I was directly their supervisor, their direct commander in their direct chain of command. They were assigned to me, so I could not date them, right? Like I just couldn't date them. So Kaidan was off the ship, off the table, because I felt really uncomfortable dating Kaidan. Next, we had Ashley, who was technically from that other planet, who then just comes onto your ship. So like, still a bit sketch because she's still in my military. And she's now attached to my ship. I pick her up and add her to my ship. So the chain of command situation is a little bit unclear. So like I'm maybe, but it felt like fraternization still. It still felt like fraternization. So I was like, I can't, right? There's a huge rank difference, and yeah, right. Like that wasn't good. And then Liara is way too young. Half-arsed, I'm totally with you. Liara is way too young in Mass Effect 1. And I understand that she's 100 years old, but for her culture, she's really young. And they make her seem really young. So there was no way that I could date Liara either. Like that was just not going to happen because she was just like too young. Could you date what's her face in Mass Effect 1? No, you couldn't. I'm sure you couldn't. Yeah, Liara is basically Tali aged. Yeah, Tali, yeah. And also I would never date Tali. Also super young, right? Like super young. So like basically everybody in Mass Effect 1 was either too young or in your direct chain of command as a subordinate. So, oh good, thank you, Krellin. So I was just like, yeah, no. Like I just, you know what I mean? Like there was just basically nobody for me to date in Mass Effect 1 because it just felt inappropriate. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't with any of you. So I didn't. Yeah, like you couldn't. Yeah, that's all. Do chain of command still work with the Spectres? My understanding is that they were like Inquisitors in 40K, separate from all chain of command. But the problem is that when you started the game Mass Effect 1, you were not a Spectre, or like what you'd I think you were not a Spectre when you first started, right? Maybe, but no, like we're playing the game. I think you don't start the game as a Spectre, right? You start as part of like a crew, and then you become the captain of that ship. But those people were still like, for me, the people on the ship originally they really feel like part of your chain of command in a fraternization way that like Artie Snack says, I started playing Mass Effect with Emmy too, so I never had to deal with either of them very much. Yeah, but the thing is, it felt different for me. In Mass Effect 2, I romanced Miranda. And that felt different to me because she didn't actually feel like a subordinate. I'm still so there. Is it Hanar Vols or Elcor crewmate? I get that. Shepard Rex romance is the best. It's just Shepard Rex forever. I get it. The partnership he has with Shep is what I'd be looking for a romantic partner. Garrus. Yeah. And everyone gets mad because they feel like you're the only human Spectre. Yeah. So I think for me, in Mass Effect 2, I felt like it was also, we're here. What are we looking for? We're going this way. I feel like we should be, what's the word? Oh, they're dead people. I think we've been here. Maybe we haven't been here. Looks like we haven't been here. We're gonna take stuff. We've emptied our inventory, so now we're gonna load it back up again. He was. So here's what. Oh, hello. So what I would say is that like Miranda was not in your direct chain of command because she was actually a civilian, right? So it felt very different for me. Like I was like, okay, I can romance Miranda because she's actually not in my direct chain of command, so it's all right. Yeah. So it felt to me like, and it's a weird thing because it was explicitly kind of a military structure. I just didn't feel comfortable with certain romance options because of the way that they were, like the power dynamic didn't feel right to me. So, you know what I mean? Krellin, anyone, everyone, remind me to raid at the end of this stream. Remind me to throw a raid up. Remind me to do that. I don't want to forget. I want to do a raid. So remind me. I remember her as well, although the fact that I was watching Chuck at the time probably had an effect on that choice. Maybe. All the Volos are cool, except for that specious Volos in the mall, and me too. Mm-hmm. We're totally. All right, what is supervisor begin transaction? What do we have here? Oh, this is a point of purchase. I've been on shift for a lot. I've earned a 5-minute break. Oh my gosh, this place is so terrible. We're gonna try out Outer Wilds too. It's a great exploration experience. Oh, I think that Outer Wilds is not Mac compatible, so I don't think I can play it. Tonade, I don't think I can play it. I checked. After you told me about it, I went to go look on Steam, but it's not Mac compatible. Yeah. You've been on shift for 88,536 hours. You have earned a 5-minute break. Why not enjoy a knock you out bar? Let's do the password. Override accepted. Welcome, Doctor. Activating backup generators. Enabling elevator. Opening secured door. Ooh, hey, I've done stuff. Rizzo's candy has been scientifically proven to not give cavities. 5 out of 5 Rizzo Company doctors agree, based on average lifespan of colonists. That's really... They're sketchy. Hello, 24-hour party people! Outer World... Hey, my inventory's great. Begin transaction? Do you greet the customer by saying, "Welcome to Rizzo's Sweet Shop. We've got your candy handy. How can I sweeten your day?" Yeah, sure. Have you offered the customer a slap? Sales of lemon slap are down. Reminder customers how refreshing a good slap is. Try saying, "Thirsty friend? Nothing beats a zesty slap." Yes. Retrieving inventory data. Error retrieving inventory. Transaction canceled. Look at the current inventory. Oh, we don't have anything in... Whatever. It's the worst. Inventory world. Yes. You know, is that too much to ask to have inventory world? I don't think so. So don't let me forget to raid. That's a thing. Don't let me forget to raid. Oh, I wonder if I'm in a game, but my friend made it. So, oh, Beetle wins. 5-minute break in real life. Beetle wins. 5-minute break. This entire stream is a 5-minute break. Yeah, we've got nothing. Yeah, I'm just saying our entire stream is a... Oh, elevator. Oh, we should maybe check this out, don't you think? See what we've got going on here. I was gonna tell you something. Come on, what was it? Now I forgot. Oh, hi, dead person. Yes, thank you, Krellin. That's what it was. Thank you, Krellin. Krellin, thank you. You reminded me of what I was gonna say. If your friend made it, I don't care. Recommend me a game anyway. If you think I'd like it, recommend it. Like, I'm into it. Like, you don't have to not recommend a game just because you're like... If you think it's a good game and you think I'd like it, recommend it. Even if you yourself made it. Actually, if you made it, especially recommend it to me because that seems very cool. Yes. I just, yeah. Appropriate everything not nailed down before. Yeah, right. No, please do, because you should recommend things. Because how else will I know about cool things if you don't recommend them to me? That's, Well, am I playing, or I'm only kind of sort of playing? I'm like... Okay, in the Outer Worlds, there are two types of playing. Gia, remind me to raid at the end of the stream. There are two types of playing. There's the playing where I'm just kind of walking around and looting and really just talking to you. And then there's the playing where I have to pay attention to what they're saying. And I'm currently in the walking around looting part of the game rather than the paying attention to what they're saying part of the game. But when, something will happen plot-wise and I'll pay attention. It'll be fine. Ooh, we're going to a secret laboratory. Yeah. Ooh, I got your new Arkham Horror novel with the cards. I need to get the new Arkham Horror novel. I need to... Here's the thing. I haven't gone to, like, a store in a while. So... This is a bit of a... I need to get the new... Vulpes, you remind me that I need to get the new Arkham stuff. And I want them at some point. Once we get... Oh, maybe we'll just raid... roll for it. Oh, hey. Secret lab. Also, I figured out what we have to do here. Sign to the Sojourner. It's a deck building game about friendship and relationships. Really cool. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, if it's the Racial Justice Bundle, then I have it, which means I will play it. That's very exciting. Also, the rest of the time... Of course you're in the looting part, because I forced you up a lot of inventory. Wait. You're in withdrawal after 10 minutes, maybe. Oh, what does my shirt say? This is the Mighty Nine. This is the Mighty Nine t-shirt that I got. It's super soft. I will say this about Critical Role: their t-shirts are really soft. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. I want to. Ooh, will you do me a favor, Beetlewinds, and remind me in game musings. Video game musings in our Discord so that I can have it right there so I won't forget it. Yeah. Somebody put the title in our Discord so I do not forget it. It's because,
I bet nobody set foot in here since Cascadia fell.
Also, what are we doing in here? Let me look at my journal. So... that Alta Vita gas is going nowhere without heavy transport. To get the gas off-world, signal Ada from the message terminal in the Cascadia lab. She'll find her way to the landing pad. Oh, all right, I can do that. That's fine. Oh, the Racial Justice Bundle was updated, if you didn't know, to have 1658 games now, up from the 742 originally. Wow, that's amazing. Also, I believe... Drive-Thru RPG has some bundles right now that I should probably get. I think they have 2 that I should pick up as well. Yeah, I feel... Yeah. So, I need to not forget to pick up the bundles from Drive-Thru RPG? Yes? I'm probably going to wait till they stop updating, and then I'll go through everything. Speaking of which, by the way, I have not gone through my Humble Bundle for May or June yet, and I really need to do that. Oh, vending machine. Cool. Do you hear that sound? Do you hear that sound? It sounds bad. All right, we're going to open this door. There are 6 bundles.
Proximity alert. Biology human. Protocol kill all plants. Suspended. Present your Rizzo identification credentials or prepare to be downsized.
Disengage security protocols. I'm not a threat.
Attempting to disengage security protocols without proper authorization is a fireable offense. Priming weapons.
No.
Executive level password accepted as identification according to employee ID protocol A-3501. Welcome back, Doctor. Be advised. Mantisaur threat level is petrifying purple berry. Please use caution. Mantis sore wounds are not covered under Rizzo's health policy. Have a productive day.
Look, seriously, this entire place is full of badness, is what I'm trying to tell you. I need to go through. I need to find those bundles and look for them. Is what I need to do. I've been slowly reading through the Lancer RPG before bed. I kind of like it, but I see why some folks say it's too complex. I should. Okay, Trooper, says Vulpes. A new version of Dexter Drake the Magician. His special card is his assistant. Name a trait, then draw cards until you get one with that trait, then shuffle the rest back in for one horror. Wait. His special card is his assistant. Name a trait, then draw cards till you get that one trait, then shuffle the rest back in for one horror. Ooh, that's actually really good, Vulpes. I like that. I think Lancer needs models to work properly. Not that I want to make and paint cool mech models or anything. Ooh. So... Hello, drone. How are you? Only you can protect fourth quarter profits. You know, this is such a dystopia, man. Such loose lips, pink slips. Cafeteria menu. Borst. Borst soup. Borst surprise. Borst and beans. Beans and borst. How much do I want to live in this universe? The answer is not. The answer is not. I've got... So, Lancer's a mech game. You know what? I think I'm going to be fine. I think this is not even going to be a big deal at all. Right? Oh, I don't have enough stuff to break through this. I don't think I need to. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Right? So, Capcom is apparently an app that lets you go through all the Lancer stuff. Online character creator reference guide and glossary. See, that looks good. Look, y'all. Okay. Reminder, personal messages on Rizzo time will result in mandatory deduction from your monthly candy fund. I'm going to look at the messages. Let's see what's here. Yeah. Mech combat. I know that a lot of people really like big eyes, small mouth for mech combat. I think there was a Robotech RPG, which I never played. I bet you could use Hero for mech combat pretty easily. Of course, there's Robotech. You can certainly use GURPS for mech combat. Battletech has good mech combat, for example. Yes. Yeah. There's a new board game that uses your own Gundam and other mech models. So that's interesting. Vulpes, I need to go and get more Arkham Horror stuff. I feel like I'm super behind, and I really need to be honest, what I need to do is organize my cards before I move so I know what I have and what I don't have, what I'm missing. That's what I need to do. Anyway, see you on the station. Lancer's a mech game I would put into the OSR category. Heavy detailed combat and lacking social rules. How deafable is it? Like, when I think of OSR, I think everybody dies. Is it very deafable? That's not even a word, but you know what I mean. Atomic says, I'm building a tiny River City Ransom Yakuza-style game in GURPS to help learn GURPS. I don't think I'll even play it. I'm just building stuff. I have a tip for you, Atomica. I'll tell you in a second. Beetlewind says, the art in Lancer is great. James Stokoe and the Kill 6 Billion Demons dude have some great pieces. Oh, cool. Weird, Jer says, weird that you say that because the narrative combat seems very Fate to me. Huh. Oh. When did you start packing? When do I start? Well, I'm going to start packing probably once I figure out whether or not my apartment is furnished or not. So that's what I'll do. But of course, a lot of what I have to do is repack, because I still have a bunch of boxes that I have not unpacked from my last move, which was not that long ago. So what I have to do is go through those boxes and decide, do I want to put this in storage or take it with me? So I have to kind of do a process where I sort of go through boxes of books and see if there's anything that needs to be taken out, and if there is, boxes of stuff, mostly books, let's be honest, and see if there's stuff that I need, and if there is, take it out, repack it, and then put the rest in. And I suppose the other thing is if I decide if I want to, what I want to do about my media. If I'm going to be gone, like, yeah, I've got some questions about media that I have to deal with. Like, do I take all of my DVDs with me? Or do I leave them in storage? And I've got a lot of really good documentaries and things that could be useful, but maybe I don't need them for the year. So like, but what I should probably do, but I might need, I've got a couple documentaries I might need for my writing. But maybe not, you know? Do you know what I mean? Do you know? You don't know what I mean. I know what I mean. What I'm saying is I'm going to be gone for 1 year only, a year, maybe a year and a half maximum. And in that year and a half, what do I need to have with me? I have some documentaries that I could use and would be valuable, but they're in a box of DVDs. Do I need to go through all the box of DVDs I have to pull out that documentary so that I can have it? Or do I just figure that I might be able to like get it on Amazon Prime? Missile Monkey says, Fate is amazing. Beetlewinds asks, random TTRPG question, which I'm into, because I see it on your shelf. Is Mask of Nyarlathotep Adventure Saga worth a punt? That's a good question. So there's masks. Do you like modules? I buy a 2 terabyte drive to rip all your DVDs. It would be way more than 2 terabytes. It's actually really, it's really inappropriate. I mean, you don't know this, but I have an 8 terabyte drive for my backups right now. Like I have a lot of music. I have a lot of music. I don't want to talk about it. It's a lot. I've got a lot, but also this is my job. Like I'm a media professor, so I have a lot of music. I don't have a lot of clothes or furniture, but I have a lot of media. So is it worth it? I think Call of Cthulhu Adventures are really good, and I really like them. I think they're really interesting and neat, with a lot of cool stuff in them. So, I think so, but it's also a chunk of change, right? So if you're not inclined to do modules in the first place, or you don't think you'd run it, then I wouldn't get it. But if you think you would run it, then I would get it. Yes. It looked like narrative combat was an afterthought to me, like graft something on the Segere to Barantor. Also, it also doesn't match the mech combat. It's a dissonance. Oh, interesting. Put the maybe things in one box and put it on the top of your stuff in storage. Yeah, but remember, my storage is going to be here, and I'll be... Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Monkey's like, 2 terabytes, Mike, for my sci-fi stuff? I have other genres. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, I have a lot of media. Are you going to run it in person and want all the goodies and handouts? Oh, that's another good question. Yeah, okay, I'll see if my group wants to do a longer module. If not, I'll leave it. That's basically what I would say. Beetle wins. Wait, my advice on what? Wait, Atomica, my advice on what? Wait, oh yes, thank you. I remember, the advice on GURPS. Got it, yeah. Beetle wins. Can I show you something though? I've showed this before, but I don't think you've seen it. This was pricey, but I really wanted it because I want to run masks in person. And this is like the glorious, so like, you know, I'm not gonna bring it with me when I move for the 1 year because I don't know. I will not bring this with me But what if I run a Call of Cthulhu game in person while I'm away for the year? What if I do that? What if I do that? I'm not going to think about that. I'll think about it later. But so the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society made this box, this gamer prop set. It's a set of props for the Mask of Nyarlathotep. They're not chaosing, but they went through the entire Masks of Nyarlathotep adventure. Sorry about that. And they made props for everything, like really good high quality props. So for example, here's a wax cylinder. It's not really a wax cylinder. If you open it up, what you get is a thumb drive with all of the audio that's mentioned in the game, sort of like done like as like radio messages and phone calls. They have stamps for your passports. They have passports, one for each of your characters, right? Where you can put, right? You've got your info for your character, and then you've got visas for all the countries you go to. And Masks, Masks is one of those globe-trotting ones, and they've got visa passport stamps for all the places. Here they've got more stamps for your passports, right? So like there's Egypt, right? Mombasa, all the places you travel, so you can stamp it in your player's passport. Wait. Check this out as well. This is so amazing. They've got this exciting prop scroll that's like that you would actually find in game, and it's beautiful. They also have, of course, period type of maps, right? So like period maps, so you've got all the place where you're traveling all over the world. And then, and this is I won't show you everything, but they've got a number of these. Here's an example of the top one. These manila folders, and these manila folders are for the keepers, and it's for each place that you go. So this one is for Peru, and inside this folder, like, okay, so inside this folder is basically everything that the people are going to find. So for example, the H.P. Lovecraft Society, they have their own printing press. So this is a newspaper clipping, right? So you know how like when you get a module, they'll have like pictures of newspaper clippings that you might find, or pictures of letters. They just made the newspaper clipping. And then they have this telegram that you find. They've got specific maps in there, right? They have got a letter that you find on actual, like, I mean, they've got like a specific Peruvian map, and then of course they've got like an evidence file when you find evidence with, so let me see. Is this the evidence file? Oh, it is. Here, this is the second one. I'll just show you. So they've got this evidence file, and in the evidence file, they have got newspaper clippings. They've got letters in cool handwriting. They've got, oh, wait, here. They've got a matchbox that is a clue, right? But part of the evidence is this matchbox. This matchbox is in there. Business card is in there. Mysterious photographs are in there. And of course they've got like a letter, advertising things, all these clues. And I'm not gonna lie, one of the main reasons I got Mask of Nyarlathotep was because this prop set is so cool that I was like, I have to run this in person, right? Like I have to, like, this prop set is so cool and so amazing that I am going to get the module because I really just want to run this in person. I want I want all these props, and I want to use these props, and I want my life to be full of this amazingness here. Let's do that. What's better? So can you enjoy this game once? Yeah, Beetle Ones, that is an amazing kit. It's an amazing kit. It's just like, yeah, they went all out. This was like, here's, and I think there was even a slightly, I went like with the almost higher tier. I think there's like a slightly higher tier that would like actually make statues for you or whatever. It's a one-shot kit, but how many different groups are the average GMs going to run that one game with? You know, that depends. Yeah, the Matchbox certainly has a club name on it. I've watched enough noir films. Yes, it does, Jer. Yes, it does. So anyway, like that's pretty amazing. And I feel like you could probably, yeah. But they also, you can also just get new passports. You can just get the passports themselves with the stamps. So you could run it with a second group if you wanted to, by just getting new passports, right? So they just. Yeah, and if everybody chips in, then it's super affordable. Yeah, I mean, it's. My point is, I was like, I need that in my life, and I want to run that. And if I will tell you this: the one I will say that I really enjoy. I enjoy streaming online. I enjoy playing online. I didn't know if I would. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know if I would enjoy playing online, but I do enjoy playing online. And the reason why, mainly is because music. Like, I can do music, and like some of the map stuff is pretty cool. So like mostly it's the music. Like, I think it's pretty good, and people tend to be a little more focused. So I don't have a problem streaming online. Some people do, but the one thing I miss is props. Like, it's really hard to do like good physical props online. I once was running a game where I made a diary. And I actually wrote an actual diary for a person that was missing, and then I hid clues in the diary, and it was very cool. And you can't do that as well online, which makes me sad. Best one-shot game I ever played was Risk Legacy. Best 16 games of Risk I've ever played. You know, Atomic, I've never played Risk Legacy, but I played Pandemic Legacy Season 1, and I loved it, and it was great. Like, it was phenomenal. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Minsel Monkey says, sometimes if the kit... Oh, you know what? I've got to bring this back out again because I forgot to put something in there. Pardon me. Sometimes if the kit for a module is so expensive, then purchasing it before talking to your crew is potentially expensive. That is fair. Risk Legacy makes Risk suck less, but we stopped playing Risk Legacy as soon as we got Pandemic Legacy. Oh. I should try Betrayal Legacy. I think Betrayal has always been a little bit tricky for me. I think it was not like... I hear good things about Betrayal Legacy. I've often been less than satisfied with my experience playing the regular Betrayal on the House on the Hill. And I think it's because I got maybe one too many... I think I just don't like being a betrayer unless I know I'm the betrayer from the beginning, basically. Hello, Eva. How are you? Atomic, I had advice for you, but let me read these letters and then I'll give you advice. From Redacted to E. Chartrand. Subject, see you at the station. You will not see me, but I will be close. Continue your research, Doctor. Report to me when you have achieved a mission. End date. I understand we're bound... Oh, there's an Ava here. I understand we're bound for a secondary lab. Will you be supervising our research this time, or will it be the standard work from the shadows routine? From E. Chartrand to L. Fall. Subject, getting there. Thank you for your optimism, Lore. What we're doing isn't easy under the best of circumstances, much less with the board cutting corners. I can promise you that our research will lead to a better Halcyon, even if we have to pay a terrible cost getting there. Ooh. From Redacted to E. Chartrand. Subject, re-release of research data. Oh, let's get the early one first. From E to Redacted. With all respect, I urge you to reconsider your decision to classify research results on the native fauna of Terra 1. I assure you that we will diligently redact any references to our project or its purpose from any papers we release. We've made several discoveries about how the terraforming process affected the nucleon of the Raptidon and Manti families. At the very least, allow us to inform our fellow board researchers that these creatures will perish when O2 concentrations are reduced to 19.5%, a level within human tolerance. This is not about fame or prestige. This is about potentially saving lives. Please. You have your orders, Doctor. Your project is too important, too sensitive to allow any hint of it to reach the public. Well, that's not great. Let's send Ada. All right. Now to set up a link to the refueling system. The closest functioning terminal with refueling authorization is located above the flavor R&D lab. Okay. All right. Okay. That's fine. We've got to go to the... I leveled up, everybody. I leveled up. I feel special. You overslept? Hey. Ava, oversleep. That's awesome. Also, I want donuts. That's all. I found the deck of cards in Risk Legacy that caused axial tilt and nearly destroyed the entire world. Ooh. I'm just imagining sending everyone a box filled with number envelopes each with a proper... See, the thing is, that is maybe a thing that I could do. That I could do. Share. Oh, share. Yes, that's the way to do it. I could send people a care package of props with numbers on it, just like in the Legacy games. And then I could have an online stream that had props. That's what I could do. Yes. Barantor says, Jer, I've done something like that once in my game. Envelope after session 0, we invite to each of the characters to a meeting with a royal who wanted something. I love props. Some costs are a bit too much in my humble opinion. Risking your life to better the lives of everyone else is a bit much. I suppose Krellin, I suppose that's true. I do always want donuts. Speaking of which, I should just remember to order some donuts. So, I don't know. You know, here's the thing, Mr. Monkey. If I had a sense, like, me personally, just how I am, if I could ensure, like, lasting world peace, and, like, I'm sure I might die, but we get lasting world peace, oh, I would totally do that. I would do that. Like, I feel like that's an easy... Or, like, end world hunger. Like, if I could have, like, I mean, that does not seem like a hard choice to me. That doesn't seem like a hard choice to me. Also, let me skill point it up. Okay, XYZ, open up box number 4 now and explain to the group what you have. That sounds awesome. Yeah, that really does sound awesome. And... I mean, it's a little bit tricky because I tend to run sandboxy. Infinite donuts would solve world hunger, and also world happiness would happen. So I think... Look, here's what's up, everybody. I am going to forget. No, I'm not going to forget. I'm going to remember donuts. Remind me donuts and rating, everybody. Donuts and rating. That's all. Yeah, no, I think I would. I think that if I had, like, the choice, I would do that. We are going... I only have 10 points. What am I supposed to do with my life here? Well, I am a good hacker. We're gonna go all persuade out. We're just gonna go all persuadey on this one. That's it. I don't know if that's a good idea, but That's what we're doing. We're doing it. Hi, did you now find out why we Danes are so happy? Daily cakes all ready for breakfast. Hey, I'm into it. Alexa, remind me in an hour to order donuts and raid my friends. Donuts, raiding, and teasing advice. No. Atomica, first off, thank you for reminding me about the advice. I'm going to tell you. It's GURPS advice that I think is quite useful, although people may not. It's a good one. Run and gun. When you critically hit a target, you have a chance of immediately resetting the cooldown of a companion ability. Using a companion ability is a chance to reset the other companion ability's cooldown. I don't use them enough. Companion ability cooldowns, science weapon damage, movement speed, extra damage to headshot weak spot. Could be okay. 5, increase the range at which all interactive objects around you highlight without requiring you to look directly at them. Oh. That seems cool. That seems practical. Practical? Yeah, let's just do that. I feel like that's a practical thing. Yeah. That just lets me loot more, is what it is. And I feel like that's a thing that will let me loot more. And that seems positive. That's all. I'm just saying. And we're going to give her chance to reset cooldown ability on kill, harmful status effects, showtime damage for 5 seconds. Sure, we'll do that. I don't know if that's good. I should probably just use my companion powers way more than I do, but I don't. Also, I don't even mind being teased. What is this? Echoing Thunder, chance of immediately resetting this companion ability when you get a killing blow. Sure, let's do that. So, Atomica, I'm going to give you some GURPS advice that I think is good GURPS advice. So, now this advice is a little bit conditional on what kind of game you're playing a little bit. Looks like bad things happened in here. Just so you know, that's what it looks like. It looks like bad things happened in here. And that seems awkward. Ooh. So, in GURPS, average skill is a 10, right? That's our average attribute is a 10. And that's what everybody gets with no stats. So, also the thing you should note, besides average attributes are a 10 for a regular human being, also an average professional skill level is 12, 14 if that skill level is something life or death, right? So don't listen to stat normalizers, by the way. Just don't listen to them. They can be really irritating. Just like listen to nothing they have to say. So, because they will just tell you that 12 is like what your max skill should be all the time, but just don't listen to them. I don't recommend it. Just don't recommend listening to them. So, 12, think about your average professional level skill is a 12, and 14 if it's something that is life and death. Stat normalizers and GURPS are really, really annoying. Like, they're really annoying. So my tip for you is this. You can also, how do I know if my companion's ability is refreshed or not? I think that's one of my problems, because sometimes I press their ability and it doesn't do anything. Anyway, so don't want to distract myself. You can't really do this with like supers, because powers I can't really, I'm not so, maybe other people can, but I'm not so conversed with supers that I can improvise supers. But I can improvise NPCs pretty easily in GURPS, so you don't have to. Like some people think that that GURPS is really difficult as a GM because it just takes so long to prep everything, but there's a lot of things you don't have to prep at all. You do not have to prep most NPCs. Like if somebody says to me, "Hey, you're in like I want to attack that guard," and I'm like, "Oh, you want to attack a guard? Okay, well it's an average guard, so all of its stats are 10, but like I will usually like give it like." Okay, it's a guard, so all of its stats are regularly 10, but its strength and health is going to be an 11 because that's what it does for a living. So its strength and health is 11. It has a weapon skills at 14. And then all of its sort of like non-weapon guard skills, like maybe observation or detect lies or things like that, are 12 because that's what they do for a living. And then everything else is a 10 or less.
When you are.
And I do that with like those are like my tier 1 people, and then if I want it to be the person to be a little bit more difficult, I'll start giving them like 12s in their best skills, and I'll bump your average good skill up to a 14, and their a really good combat skill up to a 16 for like kind of bigger people. But you can do that without ever having to stat anything, like because that for me. That's one of the things I love about a good simulationist system, is that you know what an average person's like, so you can just extrapolate. So you don't actually have to. I think, Krellin 14. See, I do 14 for all their basically weapon and murder and life and death related skills, but like that guard probably has like a 12 for interviewing or whatever, right? So yeah, and this way you don't actually have to prep pages and pages and pages and pages of documents. If somebody surprises you and they're like merchant, and you're like merchant, regular merchant, average merchant, skill 12, like really good merchant, give them a skill 14, right? Like, and you don't have to stat it all out, so you don't have to like spend days like statting up all the things. You can actually improvise a lot in GURPS. And the thing is that people are like, crunchy systems you can't improvise in. I was like, well, but you actually can in some crunchy systems. GURPS has a lot of really good, very, very good baselines, in the same way that you could actually do that in World of Darkness as well, because World of Darkness had pretty good baselines. So if you said improvise a regular person, I was like, oh, okay, well, they're going to probably be 2 in most things, and that's right. You can like just sort of extrapolate based on what you think, because the game has really good averages. And I find that games that don't have levels have really good averages that you can just you can improvise pretty well. So like if I make a cabbie, he's going to be mostly 10s, but his driving will likely be a 14 if he's been driving in your city for more than a year. Yeah. Either a 14 or a 5 says Beetle wins. Also fair. Yeah, right. So you can do that. You don't actually have to. So, and knowing this about it, right? Knowing this about the game, that generally speaking, skill levels for me are things like 12, 14, or 16 for people who are skilled, and then maybe 10s, right? Or not if you don't have it at all. And then for attributes, I'm looking at 10, 12, 14 for attributes, like 14 for people who are like badass at something, 10 for average, 12 for like pretty good, right? So and with that, I don't have to prep. Like I will stat up important NPCs. I will do that. Like if it's an important NPC, I will stat them up. But for NPCs that are not that important,
It's nice to take a breather, ain't it?
yes, it is. Like I can just improvise them, and they will be consistent with the world because GURPS has a good baseline. So there's a lot of prep you don't actually have to do. Jared says, I didn't set a single NPC in my VTM game because VTM is another system that has really good baselines so that you can. And I find that a game like D&D, it's a little bit more difficult to improvise that way because it's all based on levels and CRs, like combat ratings. And so because it's sort of based on combat ratings, it's a little bit more difficult to just improvise off the fly that way. Although it's almost like levels get in the way of improvisation because of balance. But also the other thing too, and this is important, is that I am not a gamist or a narrativist by my default inclination, so I don't need to make the NPCs have a balanced combat rating against the PCs. If they are like, we're going to find a cabbie and we're going to start beating up a cabbie, I don't need to make that cabbie a balanced encounter. The cabbie is going to be really easy to beat up for the most part. Like, if you're a professional beat 'em ups and you decide just to beat up a cabbie, well, that cabbie probably has a 10 in strength, and maybe if the cabbie's weak, I'll just give him a 9, and they probably don't have any combat skills. So you're probably just going to beat them up. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just not going to be hard for you to do that. Like, because I don't need to balance the encounters for the players. I just need to balance the encounters for the world. And because GURPS, VTM, some other systems that are a bit more simulationist do actually give you a good baseline, so then you can improv it pretty easily. So that makes GURPS not as like rough as you think it is. We couldn't beat the Tide of Destruction. Yeah, you probably should have run from something 3 stories tall. Yes, Atomica. He might be easy, but he might surprise the PCs with a 347 under his seat. Yes, that is also true. We're going to go in here. And we're going to... we're going to give myself an ability. Yeah, that was... Yep, And we're going to shoot the drone. Okay, now there's going to be fighting. We're going to do a little bit of fighting. It's cool. It's cool. The other thing I would tell you, Atomica, for GURPS tips, there's a thing that I do. I do these. It's a thing that I do that I actually really, really like. I think it's pretty awesome. In terms of making running a game just easier in GURPS, at least, is that I make these combat sheets. And I haven't run GURPS recently, so I don't think I have I'm sure I have an example of an older one that I can show you. But I make these combat sheets where they are like, it'll be like Town Guard. Well, it'll say like there'll be a combat sheet for Town Guard, and then what I'll have is each line. It's like a sheet of paper, and each line represents one guard, and it'll just say strength, hit points, fatigue points, and it'll just give me what armor and damage they do. And then there's like a box for me to like check off their hit points, and then I'll have like 10 of them in a row. So if they hit numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if they attack one random guard, I can just quickly tick off how many hit points they've lost, and I also know what their base damage is, and I know what armor they have, and I just have like a list of them. So when they go through a town, I just have basically a little combat sheet. They attack a guard, or like I'll be like guard, or like Outland Raiders, or Cardinals Guard, like just these kind of like some of the generic gang member, police officer, whatever. I'll just have like kind of generic people they might run into and want to get into a fight with, and I just give them one line with a space for you to tick off. I will show you what it looks like, but it's actually for me it's very useful, because if they decide, because sometimes players just want to start shooting people, and if they do, I have a very, very easy sheet of paper that is and the other thing is, you do that in Notepad. So yeah, right? Yeah. And you've got the basic stuff. And also, since guards are pretty much the same all the time, I reuse it. I just like to remember, like, what is the damage for the weapons that they're carrying right now? Got it. You know, like it's pretty chill. Yeah, guard 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, where each 12 is their HP total. Yeah, right? This is exactly. And I just do that, and there are a couple other things that for like a GURPS character that I would need. Like I tend to want to know their base speed. I'll have that put down. I'll put their base speed down. I'll put just the things I might need, but all usually just like one line. So it's really easy. It doesn't take up a lot of space. Also, this is where we came in. No, that's where we came in. We came in that way. So what's this? What is this? Well, let's go upstairs first. Let's go upstairs first. And then if somebody specifically engages them, I'll note it and say, yeah. And I find that to be just really practical. And it just speeds things up. Yeah, it's like a little shorthand. It's like a little GURP shorthand. But I think the big thing about it is that there are a couple things in GURPS. Like, GURPS is fast in play because it does a lot of calculation. So I just make sure I know ahead of time, like if I'm doing a space game or a modern game, I'm just going to write down like, okay, these soldiers are going to have M16s. This is what damage they do. And this is what kind of armor they would have and how much stopping power that has. Boom. So I just remember it. So I'll just like, this way I don't have to look it up in the book. I mean, I can look it up. It's all on one table. It's fine. But it's just a little bit faster if I just pull out my sheet and I know what, you know, what their flak vest does for damage reduction. And I know how much damage the M16 does, which I think is like 62, but you know, you see what I'm saying. It's what is this? Refueling system enabled. Section established with northern landing pad, running diagnostic, landing pad occupied, tramp fader unreliable, fuel pumps disconnected. We'll align the fueling system. We will initiate transfer. I wonder if it's the doctor who's asking us to get this stuff. Understandable. I think we're gonna have finished a mission today. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Interestingly enough for me, you can do a lot of... Here, do your thing. Ooh, hi. There are a lot of you. Can you do your thing? Look, I'm using my special abilities. See, I'm using my special abilities. Boom. See? I did it. Special abilities. Herpetophobia. After too many encounters with mantipodes and mantisaurs, you're not quite yourself within a mantis family. No! Why would I be afraid of mantisaurs? I just killed them all. That's not a good phobia for me to get. Why would I do that? They need to give me... Look, I will take a phobia, but they need to give me a better choices. They need to give me, like, phobias that make sense to me in character. It does not make sense to me that this character would be afraid of mantisaurs after just wiping the floor from them. Come on. Come on, people. Yeah, they're like super negative, and they feel more negative than... They don't feel grounded is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Phobia of... Thank you. Hey, speaking of a state of affairs, we only have one episode, y'all. We only have one episode of a state of affairs left. Probably. Orin Emily says, oh yeah, I tend to put stuff in an Excel spreadsheet while I'm DMing, mostly just HP and ACs. PCs, I got a cheat sheet since it's all on it. Yeah. Filmbar's asking, probably. Crap. Oh, look at this. This is probably where all the mantisaurs came from, huh? They probably burrowed in, and it was unfortunate for them. Yeah, probably last episode of A State of Affairs. Definitely last episode of Season 1 of City of Light and Shadow. Look, I know. I will tell you, I did do this on purpose. I did plan for all my stuff to end at the end of June on purpose because I was... Hey, what's this? Hey, what's this? What do you think that is? Yeah, I don't know, Trooper. Tango with the floor with people, but still end up with PTSD over it. Yes, that's true. That's true. This is true, Jer. This is true. This is true. I missed most of your RTTRGs because you go to bed around 7 p.m. and you start at like 10 or 11 p.m. Well, what time zone are we talking about? Because City of Light and Shadow starts at 7, although you go to bed at 7. So my RPG, City of Light and Shadow, starts at 7, so that's the one that I'm running. A lot of them, most of them are starting around 7 or 8, right? Still too late for your bedtime. Still too late for your bedtime. I know. Actually, Aether's Walkway, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. Although you're probably at work, which is awkward. I live an hour from you at the moment, so same time. This is actually true. So if you're going to bed at 7, Aether's Walkway on Fridays at 1 p.m. Although again, you're probably working, right? But I've got thoughts about things. I just was inspired by, as Encounter Roleplay said some stuff that I was like, oh, that could be cool. That could be cool. Anyway, I'm still thinking about my GURPS Arena, is what I'm thinking about. You were an excellent chimerist and a credit to our team. Upon our return to Byzantium, I will file to have the copyright for our work made in your name. The companies will own them, but your name will be on every legal filing. People will see it and perhaps think of you. I hope this adequately communicates the depths of my esteem. I will forever appreciate your efforts to improve communication between myself and the rest of the team. I do not believe I will drink vodka again, however. Dr. Guthrie.
Gotta admit, I ain't got a lot of sympathy for someone willing to experiment on themselves, or any person, really.
How long have I been playing D&D? I started playing in 1983. So, 37 years. I'm still waiting for you to start playing RimWorld, which I will do, finally, and you'll be like, Saturday stream time has changed to 11 p.m. because Atomica combined. No, I would never do that to you, Atomica. I wouldn't do it. Is there a possibility? You weren't born until 88. Hiccuping Boots, why do you do this to me? Why are you doing that to me? Why are you saying mean things to me? Why are you calling me out? Are you trying to say I'm old? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying I'm old? No, it's fine. Yeah, no, I started playing. They redid the Red Box right around 1988, 83. Pardon me. So they did like a reprint of the Red Box with this new art, and that's what I started with. And also, the reason why I was able to start was because, ooh, Atomica. The reason why I was able to start was because they had the Red Box at this Toys R Us and it was half off. There was like a 50% off sale on the Red Box, and I'd saved all my money. Like, I'd worked really hard to save my money so I could like get the $5 it would cost to get the Red Box, and that's what started it. That's it. We cannot talk us one out of that one. That sounds to me like that sounds like me with HeroQuest. Yeah, right. That you work really hard to be able to save that money so you can get. And like, I remember going to the Toys R Us. I would go often after school because it was within walking distance, right? So I would just go there and I'd look at the box and I'd look at it and I'd look at it, and then I'd go home and I'd save my money, and then I'd go back and I'd look at it, make sure it was still there and it was still on sale, and then I would keep saving my money. And then like after, I don't know, it was like a couple of weeks, I had enough money and I went back and it was still on sale and I bought it. Like, and I was thinking about how, I don't know, were you like this as a kid? And I did the same thing with my gaming store when I was like, what, 13, 14. I would go to the gaming store all the time and buy nothing because I didn't have the money for it. But I'd go and I'd look at the new games. I look at the new boxes. I see what was there. And I'd think, oh, do I want this one? Do I want this one? Do I want Paranoia? Do I like which game do I want? And I would sort of sit there and think about the games, and like I would eventually save up enough money to buy one. But like, I would be in there like every week looking at all the stuff but buying nothing, and then sooner or later I'd have enough money to buy it. And then I wonder if like I wonder how the game store owners felt about like 13-year-olds coming in and looking at all their stuff, but like buying things only every once in a while. They didn't kick us out, so I suppose it was fine, right? But I think about that now because it wasn't like I was the only like 13-year-old who walked into the store and like just looked at the things. And I remember, you know, they had like Star Frontiers and all those TSR boxes games that came out. There's a funny TikTok where the guy's like, I was born in 2000 and then it cuts off. And why are you still going? You started with 2000 and are finishing with a compound sentence. You were lucky to live within walking distance. I had to beg my grandmother to drive me to town to be able to look around for 30 minutes. Oh, Baron Tor, that must have been miserable. Now, it was a long walking distance, but I would do the walk. It was actually pretty far. For a kid, for like a 13-year-old, it was actually a pretty far walk, but I didn't mind. Like, I would walk. I walked like it's probably like a 45-minute-hour walk to get to the store. I think my parents were fine because like it was actually kind of a far walk, but I was cool. I actually walked a lot. I would walk to things that were an hour away quite a lot when I was a little kid, and I think it was probably convenient for my parents. That's it. That's what people still to this day. Look at the things, wait for a sale, then buy the thing you really want. Yeah. I started with a GM Hero Quest, and it was my brother's game, and he was the worst GM. Oh no, I'm so sorry. These days, it's move, go to the store, look at the thing, open up Amazon app, buy cheaper there. Oh, yeah, young me, you know, especially in the summer, what are you gonna do, right? Or the weekends, like you would just like walk down there. It was called Game Masters was the store. You know, oh, dang it, I wish I could figure out how far of a walk Game Masters was from where I lived. You know, let me see. Maps, Google. Right? Google Maps will do it. The problem is Game Masters doesn't exist anymore. 533 23rd Avenue. Okay, let's see. Let's bring up this map, shall we? And okay, so here's where I lived. What I'm gonna need to do is, all right, so can I get like a start end? Can I do that? Like I want to, all right, so this was the start. Here's Park Presidio. So it probably wasn't that far. They call it Little Russia. They didn't call it Little Russia where I was growing up. So I feel like 6 was really far away. I don't think it was that far. I feel like it was probably around 9th or 10th. So, how do I figure out can I get distance? What is this? What is this? Give me a second, because I want to tell you how far I'd walk. No, that's Street View image. That's not interesting. Can I just get like directions to here. From, well, it's not really great, but let's see. I'm just curious because it probably wasn't actually that far at all, but it was, if you are walking, how far of a walk is it? Oh, it was like 2 miles. It wasn't that far at all. It was only 2 miles. It was like a 2-mile walk. It really wasn't that far. I mean, it was 2 miles for like a 13-year-old, so that seems like a bit much, but it wasn't that far. It was fine. It was fine. That's all I'm saying. 2-mile walk for a little for like, so it's like what? Half hour maybe? A little kid. So it reminded me, my first GM was a cousin of mine, and he was terrible. He was a modules only railroad GM. If the book didn't cover it, you couldn't do it. Ava says, I spent a lot of time in game stores. They appreciated kids like us because they knew that we would spend a disproportionate amount of our money with them. And if they were lucky, we would gain lifelong customers by giving us a safe space. You know, that's true. And even though I couldn't buy a lot, like, I think it was probably not bad for them to have people around. Want to jump through a window to ambush the bad guy? Not in the book, can't do it. Ooh. ODS, I would walk 500 miles and then I'd walk 500 more. Da-da-da-da. Want to bribe a guard to get through a date? Not in the book, can't do it. Oof, yeah. See, for me, it was going to a card shop and staring at Magic the Gathering cards for hours. Never had the money for D books, could afford a handful of cards. But Cher, when I was 13, magic didn't happen. You know that. There was no magic then. Not yet. Tom, as your manager, I'm supposed to review your achievements in history, holding up examples of important milestones that emphasize your ability to work with and sacrifice for the company. Even when we die, it's all, how much did you make for us? Everyone here knows what we're up against and how long we have. You knew better than anyone. The way you talked about the lives we forget in passing. The dock worker who kept a red kerchief in one of her pockets and you wondered why. The server at the bar trying to read a book on the sly until our order was up. And you understood what it was. You wondered what it was. The worker who swept up the roads, but when she found a dead sprat, stopped to bury it. I didn't notice half the lives around me until you'd point out the little things that made each one unlike any other you'd met. I have to live long enough that I can shout your name at Byzantium, tell everyone what you did for them, because I could write for 40 days and nights and not tell a tenth of the little things I saw in you. Oh, hey! We have a gift sub. We have a gift sub. Thank you, ODS, for the gift sub to Tofgear. Tofgear. You have a gift sub. And I think you need to know what that means. Tofgear, what that means is... Also, I waited some follows and I forgot to give them the heads up. But we're going to fix that. Tofgear. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name. I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F. Or an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Tofgear, both gear, banana, fanner, fo, gear, fee, fi, mo, moth gear. Tofgear, Ooh, ee. I was not expecting this to happen when I broke my lurk. Oh, well, I mean, just sometimes people in the foxhole want to give you presents. That's all. Just, you know, that's all. Sometimes they're presents, especially if you want me to sing just to be the one who walked 1,000 miles to end up at the game store door. Da-da-da-da. Right? I mean, this is what happens. If you're going to encourage me to sing, things are going to happen. I don't know what to say about that. I know I got into Magic early too, like right before the revised edition. Oh, that's so interesting. I remember when MTG was a new thing in the shop. Yeah, I remember it too. I remember that too. But
this is why you don't go getting attached.
hang on. But oh, you're welcome. I was overseas, and so we didn't have game stores at that time. I was in Germany, so we didn't have that. So we just heard about the games happening in the United States because I was in the Army. Like we heard from friends, and we'd heard that there were like these two new games that were kind of cool: Magic the Gathering and Jihad, which later got renamed Vampire: The Eternal Struggle. And we're like, well, we're playing a vampire game right now. Let's get that one. And we had no idea that Magic would become what Magic was. Do you know? Yeah. False testimonial. I'd like to think you'd be happy about the data I recovered. These days, I'm mostly thinking about how you should still be with us, and we should have had more support from the board, and no one should ever have needed to take such a crazy, stupid, brave risk. I don't know if your folks will ever get to see you, but I made sure you were all tidy. Small stitches. Eva put you in your best suit, did it herself, alone. She said she owed you. See you in the equation, Tom. We miss you. Oh, oh, I'm sorry that they lost their friend. McNulty's testimonial. You didn't have to go this far to get out of paying that bad bet on the Darlings. I mean, you gave me 6 years to pay you back for last year's championship. I told you you were right. I had your back. We could have drawn straws or something. But you went off and did it, and you didn't even tell me. This shouldn't have happened, man. Fuck this. You earned better, Charlie. Oh, well, this person clearly made some kind of super sacrifice to save people's lives? Ooh. And you had to know someone to teach you how to play. Trooper had... Oh, well, no, but at the time, I wasn't hanging out in German game stores, right? At that moment, I was... Because where I was at, we didn't really have any good game stores in Augsburg. So there wasn't really any good game stores in Augsburg. So if I wanted to get stuff, we had to order it in from the United States. But the first time I encountered Magic the Gathering was in the Marine Corps. I bought some packs and a starter set, the PX, and played in a tent in 29 Palms. Oh, that's so cool. I was going through stuff recently and came across some foil chase cards from the Rage the Werewolf CC. Yeah. Persona 4's on Steam now. Ooh. Maybe it was only Bayern that could not find out having the newest stuff. I was in a small town. Like, Augsburg is not the huge... Like, it's a city, but not the hugest city. And I finally found a good game store later, but they... And also the thing is whether or not you have things in translation, when do they get translated, and it wasn't out right immediately. But I will also say this, Bunny, about having people teach me things. I've never had people teach me things. That was like waiting for somebody to teach me things. If I waited for somebody to teach me things, I would not be playing anything. I got that red box D&D and I was like, I'm going to teach myself, and I did. I taught myself GURPS. I taught myself D&D. I taught myself many of the games as a GM. That often happens, right? Most of the things I've played, I taught myself, or I was with a group of people, we taught ourselves. So, you know. Oh, but did you have a really good game store in 1990? Good for Flensburg. Good for Flensburg. 92. Simple Shrine. Dr. Thomas Linwood Ryle, in gratitude. Dr. Ava Chartrand, Lorelei Fall, James Guthrie, Charles McNulty, and Claire Pearsall. Oh. Ooh. Good for your game store. So somebody died in here trying to save people's lives. That seems a little intense, right? That seems a little intense. Yeah. But there are other things back here for maybe looting. Oh, I don't have enough. It bugs me when I don't have enough lockpicks, because I feel like I should always have enough lockpicks to pick everything all the time, and it seems unfair for me not to have everything. Okay, we're gonna learn what's going on. Research notes. The owners look like Vikings, so that may has scared off the bank folks. Research notes. Tissue comparability, acceptable losses. Krellin, I will do it. I will do it. We'll level up lockpicking. I will do it when I level up next time. Cascadia Lab, Executive Research Focus Group. Chief concern is rejection of the tissue, a problem as classical as limb transplantation, though obviously on a cellular level. The scale of the problem, though, even with the Alte Vitae bolstering our efforts, an achievement of such proportion has never been attempted or even considered. How to define a tolerable failure rate when the losses could swell to affect millions? Even 1% is unthinkable. I have much to consider. Transfer to secondary site. Oh. Cascadia Lab. The project has been reassigned to a secondary lab. I'm told the board is pulling out of Terra 1, and we don't even have time to transfer our research. For once, I'm grateful our labors didn't make significant strides here. I won't forget Tom's sacrifice. Up until the end, he knew it had to happen. If it wasn't one of us, the board would have volunteered inmates from Tartarus. I'll be sure to carry his example to the new lab and the next phase of human trials. Sketch? Huh. Well, I wonder what all they were doing here, and did they ever manage to do any good, or did they not? Do you know, like, what do you think? I like that Nyoka cheers me on when I steal things. I should also clearly spend more money stealing things. I should talk the lock open. By the way, I'm hearing skittering. I'm also seeing, I'm seeing skittering. Oh yeah, by the way. Oh, it's a Manta Queen. Okay, well, let's do, what is it, this one? No, that's not it. No, let me do this. No, wrong button. This, there we go, how about that? And then let's do this. Not a good shot, but... Here, Manta Queen it. Do some Manta Queen stuff. And then do that too. Just shoot the things. Just all the shooting. All right. See, look at that. They're all dead. It is totally fine. I didn't really need to use my health potion, but it's fine. In '89, we had a small game store open up that I quickly made friends with the crew, and most of them were old school punks, so they didn't make it more than about 3 years. But it was a great freaky place. That's where I learned and played Vampire for a while. Oh, that sounds awesome. I don't think anybody in the city is dedicated to doing good. That's probably true. Yeah, Nyoka is totally... Krellin, you did not lie. Nyoka is totally my best friend. She always cheers me on when I pick locks. She's clearly awesome. She is my best friend. She's very supportive. I am very excited. Oh, so here's the thing. I'm not saying there'll be a second season of A State of Affairs. There probably will not be a second season of A State of Affairs. I don't think that will happen. So nobody get their hopes up about that. However, we might get a little bit of extra time. So, see Spider, hello. We might get a little bit of extra time. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know. It might mean that we get that our last show's a little bit longer, in which case my Thursday stream will be a little bit late. Oh. Hey. All this is kind of interesting, don't you think? Also, let me repair everything. Vicar Max's theological advice. Loot! I'm gonna jump, but I haven't finished looking at this space yet because there was this that I haven't looked at. So you know, yeah. Oh, let's connect the storage tank to the landing pad. Let's do that. Engineering 40, I have engineering. Fuel type mismatch, safety protocols engaged. Please send a support ticket to your local, refigure the fuel system to accept Alta Vita gas. I've got engineering, I can do that. Right? I have got engineering.
Great. Can we get out of here now? Between the machines and the experiments, my skin feels like it's got mana swarms inside it.
Well, we're not gonna go just yet because there are places to jump. And we're gonna jump those places. Here we go. We're gonna... Nyoka makes me want gnocchi. I also want gnocchi. Go! Oop! Ha ha ha! Jump! I just want jumping in my game. Is that too much to ask? Okay, well, alright. Everybody? I didn't die. Am I gonna get a science weapon? Will it be a cool science weapon or will it be a boring science weapon? This is what I want to know. Hey. This looks very... Hey, did you ever play, Okay, I want to talk about video games for a moment. Ooh, a mind control ray. Huh. Well, let's take it. We'll take the mind control ray. So, I want to talk about video games for a moment, just for a quick moment. When I was a kid, I played video games, as many people do, but my video games were mostly arcade games because I could not afford an Atari, because Ataris were like brand new and expensive and Pong and whatever. But I was playing, so I played arcade games because I had a quarter, like put in a quarter, play the arcade game, right? And then I had early video games that I would play. I did not have a computer. I was the first person in my family to have a computer, and that was when I was like 29 years old. And it was my last year of undergraduate. I was 28, 29. It was my last year of undergraduate, and I was about to go to graduate school. And I thought, well, I'm going to go to graduate school. I should probably get a computer at this point in time because I might actually need it. So that's when I bought my very first computer. But up until, and like my family hadn't even had a computer yet. Like they didn't. I had a word processor once, but my family didn't have a computer at that point in time. They got one though, but like we just never had computers growing up because they were expensive and we couldn't afford them. And so I always just used the computers at the library. Like I would go to our public library to use their computer, or the library at school, or the computer lab in college. And so I would play computer games, but in that kind of a context. So I would play all those.
No one tells you how much of the job is waiting for action.
What are you saying? What are you saying? Anyway, fine, I will walk. No, I can't walk yet because I'm trying to tell a story that has to do with this fan. So like, I'd play those Infocom games and like, all those really old school 1980s video games you get on your computer that were like not fancy. So I think but then when I was in undergraduate, which was in the 90s, late 90s, I picked up, it was like right at the end of my time as an undergraduate, I picked up a video game that was like really recommended to me, seemed very fancy, and I was like, well, I'm at college, I can play this on the computer labs late at night, no one will see me, what I'm doing, so I can get away with it. So I'd say the very first, I never played Stone Keep. So the very first sort of like modern video game, if that makes any sense, of like the more current generation, was Deus Ex, and then The Sims. And I picked up Deus Ex and I fell in love with it. And by the way, this fan, this space that we're in right here, this kind of like industrial giant fan, smoky atmosphere, light, reminds me of Deus Ex. Like this reminds me of Deus Ex a lot. So here's my question. Do you think I can jump? Give me a second. Look, don't yell at me. Okay? Don't yell at me. But what if I can jump off? What if I can jump and I can land over there? I feel like that is really doable. No, oh. Nope. No, I didn't save scum. They just killed me and I have to come back. When you die, they bring you back. No, Krellin, you were right. Can't do it. Cannot jump. But it looked like you could, because it looked like you could, but then I hit my head on some overhang and then died. Yeah, see, like I smashed my head. And it's because, like, I really feel like I should be able to... Authentic streamer. Clearly, they put that thing there just so I would hit my head and die. Oh, hey. I feel like that's unfair. I feel like that was super unfair. We had a full set of healing. I know. I feel like that was really unfair of me to walk backwards off of a platform and die. Can I just run off? That's why we GM, sir, to make things theoretically possible. Here we go. I'm gonna just. Haha. okay, I hurt myself a little bit, but are you all okay, friends? I feel like they're not okay, but they're gonna be okay. Wait, you hurt yourself? Are you all right? Friends, you know what? You're gonna hang out with me. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I know. I hurt myself to see if I know that song. I know that song. They're electric. It's electric. People, we have finished a really major quest today. Also, was there anything else I wanted to say? Tips? GURPS tips? Look, I think it was encounter. I am the worst friend. I might be the worst friend, but they didn't. I almost read that first without context. I got you. They made in the first try 20 takes to get out. Oh, hey, where are we? So, yeah, it was a tough one, but I got the song. So, almost, he says, almost. So, Encounter Roleplay was saying that they have a once a month massive D&D arena, which is giving me ideas for my GURPS arena. I should see what their arena looks like and how they do it. Do they do like a battle royale? Because I actually don't. Hello, I don't want a battle royale. Battle royale. I actually like elimination rounds. You like full on. So I want to. I'm gonna figure out.
You can get the best wine on Monarch here.
In this cell?
To the nicest places, Captain.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot. Troopers 1v1 me. So. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna just shoot this person, and also we did killing today, even everything. Like we were very. Here, do your thing, friends. Do your thing. Oh, they're. And also, you do your thing. And I will do my thing. I don't think. Oh, okay. Hey, creeps. Creep show? Yeah, so... Seriously. Okay, do you want to know what the problem is with the GURPS Arena? Do you want to know what it is? I will tell you. I started doing some work on it. The problem with the GURPS Arena is... Which is like a slightly larger problem with GURPS in general. Yeah, that one, it was acting weird. It was... Oh, Constable. It was acting weird. Also, where are we? In this town. Oh. Huh. Oh, we're gonna head to our ship, I think. So, here's the problem. Oh, no, that wouldn't actually fix the problem either, I don't think. I mean... I wouldn't mind doing an arena in that either. The problem is, which is not solved by Fantasy Trip. Also, oh, interesting. I want to go this way eventually, but clearly we need to go this way first. The problem is the character sheet. First off, as far as I know, there's no Fantasy Trip character sheet in Roll20 at all. There is a GURPS character sheet, but I don't like it. And you might ask, why do I not like it? I don't like it because the character sheet, I just hear all that creepy skittering, and it's good job, sound designers. Good job. I don't like it, and I've talked, and like the people who make that character sheet are also on the GURPS forums, so they're like, we don't understand what the problem with our sheet is. Like, it's so brilliant and great, and what can we do to fix it? The problem is they can't fix it. There are a couple things that are a problem with that sheet. So the first problem is that Steve Jackson Games is not supporting online VTTs. I hear, and I have spoken to Steve Jackson personally. I've been telling them they needed to support these things for years. I've been telling them this for years. I've been saying they need to do this, right? Like, this is not a thing that I have just started talking. I spoke to Steve Jackson, his self. So they don't support the VTTs. I hear rumor that maybe they might get into some kind of exclusive deal with Fantasy Grounds, which I think is a bad idea. I think they should not get into an exclusive deal with Fantasy Grounds. I feel like they should be supportive of both Roll20 and like they should support more than one VTT. So what does it mean that they do not support a VTT? What does this mean in practice, and what does this have to do with character sheets? I will tell you. What this means is that you can make your own character sheet if you want to, but you cannot include any of the information from GURPS. So I can make a character sheet and I can have it do the calculate speed and all of that. But what you can't do is have any advantages or disadvantages or skills, right? All the list of skills, advantages, disadvantages, none of that you can have in the character sheet because that's not allowed. So basically, if you want to make, so they have a character sheet in GURPS, but if you're going to put a character into GURPS, you have to hand enter everything. You have to have the books, which is one of the reasons why Steve Jackson Games won't let you do it. You have to have the books, and then you have to figure out what skills you want, what abilities you want, what disadvantages you want, and then you have to hand type in all of that information. So, yeah, right. So you have to manually enter everything. And the thing is, GURPS is not a complicated system. It's not complicated, but it has a lot of options. And having to hand enter all of that information makes everything really slow and also the sheet itself is spread out over like 5 tabs. So like everything is like on multiple tabs, and having multiple tabs that way makes it seem like I can have a GURPS character sheet in real life that's on one page, right? But the Roll20 sheet is on 5 different tabs. So like you've got your stuff here, then you've got your skills here, your advantages here, disadvantages here. And it makes it seem, yeah, it's more fiddly than complicated, yeah. It makes the game and everything seem way more complicated than it actually is. It actively makes the game seem more difficult to play. And also, it just is so time consuming because you have to enter everything by hand. And I believe they do. I don't know if they have a BRP sheet, but I think they certainly have a Call of Cthulhu sheet because Chaosium has supported them. So that's like really, that's not great, right? It's really not great. It makes it like the sheet is fine if you already know GURPS really well, but if you don't know, if you're brand new to GURPS, that sheet is not welcoming, and it's not the sheet maker's fault. I think the multiple tabs are the sheet maker's fault, but it's because you have to enter everything by hand because Steve Jackson Games is not supporting VTTs at this point in time. So, and I really hope that they will one day. So basically, yeah, basically the Roll20 sheet is no better than a PDF. Krellin, that is exactly right. That's exactly right. It's no better than a PDF. But it's actually, I would say it's actually a little bit worse than a PDF because with a PDF, it's all in one sheet, right? Like, it's just, the PDF looks cleaner. It looks less complicated having the PDF. So, and of course you can do rolls from the sheet, but yeah, there's an auto calculate in at least one of the PDF sheets. So then actually maybe it's really not better than the PDF at all. So that is currently my big hurdle when it comes to running GURPS on Roll20, is that I don't like the sheet. So now here's the thing though, there is a program called GURPS Character Sheet, which is free and actually does have the database of all the stuff. It's really, really good. Like you have to learn how to run the database, how to actually use the program. But it's multi-platform. It's got all the stuff. It makes making characters pretty easy. Like it's good. And so like what I'm thinking about for running GURPS would be to have players who want to play make their character sheets in GURPS Character Sheet. So they have a good, easy character sheet. And then, I don't know. For the arena, they really, yeah. There might be a way to import GURPS Character Sheet into Roll20 because GURPS Character Sheet uses JSON and whatever. So there might be a way to do that. So at least the character sheet is uploaded, so there's a record of it. And then I think probably just, maybe a section in yeah, I could maybe do that. Baron, to have a section in Discord to help people make characters. Yeah. And then I think maybe just upload the PDF so that there's a record of those sheets, or at least send them to me so that I have a copy of them. And then I think probably just do it the old school way, which is have people just roll 3d6, because the rolls in GURPS themselves are actually pretty simple. You just roll 3d6, so that basically players would. I don't like Map Tools, Baron Tor. I don't like it, and also Map Tools also doesn't have a GURPS character sheet that is supported because Steve Jackson Games does not support any VTT, not Map Tools, not Fantasy Grounds, not Roll20, but also I don't want to be running my own. I don't want to be running my own server while I'm streaming. I don't want to be running my own server while I'm streaming at the same time. I don't want to do it. I've known people who've done it and have had trouble where it slows down their computer, and it causes a little bit of trouble with the streaming, that it's not the best. Yeah. So yeah. Map Tools, and the new one everyone was really excited about, is also like you have to run it on you have to run a local server that way, and I don't want to do it. You could make a character sheet, but you're not allowed to have all the data. So yeah, you like it yourself, but you don't stream games. Like I know a lot of people who like that. They want to have it on there. Yeah, if you make the sheet that Trooper wants, SJG would just make a cease and desist. However, if it's not made public, then it would be fine, right? That's the thing. If it's a private sheet, then it's okay. Like you can make a sheet that does all that stuff in your private game. You just can't distribute it. So, if I had a private sheet, then it would work, right? I mean, that would be a. Private sheets would work. I think that you just can't put it out there. So I don't know. I just think so I'm just trying to figure out if maybe I could have players use GURPS Character Sheet, which is free, to make the character, and then just roll 3d6. Yeah. Which, I mean, I think it would be fine. I mean, I made the sheet for Night Witches. I made that sheet. I made that sheet. So yeah, I think and this is like full disclosure. This has been the one thing that's been hanging me up, is that I'm trying to figure out the best way to do GURPS for new players. For people who are not new players, it's really no problem at all. But for people who are new players, or new-ish players, how to do that in the best way. And my current thought is use GURPS character sheet, because the character creation is actually, it's got all the databases, and character creation is pretty easy. Have everybody have a GURPS character sheet. Make sure I have a copy of it, and then people just roll the dice. Just, use the maps for Roll20 and use the die rolling function. So roll 3d6, make a 3d6 macro, make a button, boop, roll 3d6. Have everyone have tokens that have their hit points, fatigue points on it, status. So like they can use the tokens, but the tokens don't necessarily have to be tied to a character sheet, maybe. Yeah, SCG had their own stream of Fantasy Trip, but it was folks at the table. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what you're saying is SCG doesn't want to see anyone playing their games online. Well, Barontor, you say they do, but actually, here's the thing about that. They started the Fantasy Trip, that just started this year. Do you know what I mean? Like, I told them years ago, I swear to you, I told them years ago they should do this, and their response was, there was a lot of skepticism. You can tie tokens to a character that is basically just place for notes. Yeah, I think you could do that. I think that would be what it is. Yeah, they want the publicity. They don't want to digitize their games for TTTs. But I think also when I first talked to them about this, when Critical Role just happened, like Critical was just happening. It was Critical Role had started. It was not very far into Critical Role. Yeah, GURPS leadership is a little bit ancient. And I said, hey, streaming RPGs is a thing. You should. And it was kind of early-ish. I was like, what you should do is, I probably brought this up around the time of Corporate Sins, probably. So around then, maybe. And I said, I think that you should all, I said, hey, it would be a really good idea. Because people sometimes in the forums are like, how can we get GURPS more popular? And I was like, well, I think that you should basically sponsor an RPG stream. That's what you should do. And they were like, streams are not a big deal. And I was like, what are you talking about? Streams are a huge deal. And they were like, it's not a big deal. And I was like, they were like, they don't translate to sales. And I was like, Critical Role has over 1 million views of their first episode. This is the future. Streaming RPGs is the future way to get people to know your game and be interested in it. This is like marketing. It's really important. You should totally do this. This is like the wave of the future. And people on the forums who are not employees of Steve Jackson Games, just forum members, were like, that's not going to translate to sales. Nobody really cares. Blah blah blah. And then the Tal'Dorei book came out and outsold like whoa, and I was like, what did I tell you? Nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me. This was like clear. And they were like, well, why should Steve Jackson Games be involved? I was like, look, what you do, yeah, right? Like at a 1 million views, even a 1% conversion rate, which is horrible, it's still 10,000 sales, which is insane for RPGs, right? I mean, come on. And I said, look, there are studios like Geek and Sundry, like Hyper RPG at the time, right? There are studios that are well respected, that have good quality, that have good vision. You could approach them, ask them to run a GURPS 6-shot, 10-shot that shows off your rules, that shows you to be good, and that would be really positive for the game. But nobody listened to me, and I will tell you, I have seen a couple of GURPS games on Twitch, not a lot, not many. And the ones I've seen on Twitch are Baron Dress Trooper, those are the same folks that didn't feel the need for a good intro set for GURPS. Those are the same people. It's the same with OSR, to be honest, in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's true. that is the closest I've seen to looking to disproving, and I don't like it. There are, in my opinion, there's a spectrum. There's a continuum. Old folk are gatekeeping their game so it doesn't change. Yeah. Look, there's a continuum of quality for RPG streams on Twitch. There's a continuum for quality. And I'm going to say there are, let's say, 3 main areas. This area, that area, and the middle area. And this area, the middle area, I think at this point in time, today, in the current day, is, well, okay, that's, okay, I cannot say this, I'm going to say it, and it's probably not true. I'm telling you something that is probably a lie that's based on skewed perception, right? So I'm going to tell you a thing that I think is probably not true, but it is true of my experience of where I hang out on Twitch, and I'm being hopeful. In my experience, which is probably not true, note it, there is what I would say like a vast middle ground of Twitch RPG streams, which is good quality. Like good quality, the players are basically pretty engaging. The GM is pretty good. They've got good graphics, right? Like it's good. Like it's a good game. Like I like maybe I may not be super interested in watching, but generally speaking, people would be. But like it's, yeah, right. Thank you, Barontor. Decent, watchable, enjoyable, good basic quality. And these games, yeah, like it's good. Like they're playing a good game. They're playing a home game. They aware, however, that they're on stream, which does not mean that they don't play the game like they would on camera, but it does mean that they have good microphones, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like for me, like good, decent, watchable doesn't mean that they've turned it into a movie or done something that's like so removed from an RPG. It just means that they have good lighting, good microphones, and they have good, they have developed the skills of not talking over each other. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like, it's not, right? For me, that's like this sort of baseline. I honestly, I doubt unless you told them that SIG would even pay attention to your game of GURPS. Yeah, and even then they might not. But, and then of course on the other end, like, so that's the vast middle. I think that's the vast middle, and I may be wrong. Like my sense of quality might be a little skewed because I watch a lot of, I think, decent quality streams. But like for me, I feel like that's like your norm. And then you've got those studios who have got a lot of money. And I don't mean that they've got they've made a fancy opening video. I mean, like, they've got a studio, they've got a lot of money, they get professional actors for whom it is their job to act. They have got like doodads and hoo-has, and like I don't like, you know, we're talking like The Geek and the Sundry, we're talking Critical Role, we're talking Hyper RPG, right? Like, you know, like the ones that have got like a lot of, you know what I'm saying, right? Like that, like, wah, quality. And then there's that other quality on the other end of the spectrum, where it's usually one of two things in my experience. Either it's an around the table game, like where they're playing around the table, but that table is in their kitchen and they have maybe one unidirectional mic, and you cannot see everyone, and they've got like maybe one unidirectional mic, they've got one webcam, and that webcam is like over here, so you're looking at a group of people around a table. You can't see everyone's face, half the people are in profile, you cannot hear them at all, the lighting is really bad, and I would not be happy to be in the game in person. Like, it drags, it wanders in ways that are like scabby neck. In a Facebook group where there was a period of time where people were streaming their home games by setting up a phone in a corner. Yes, right? There's that one, and then there's the one where they're like, okay, we'll do it now, like through Roll20 or Map Tools or Fantasy Grounds, and we'll do it like through a VTT. And we'll stream it on Twitch that way. But it's still not good. Like, it's the audio quality is not great still. Nobody is entertaining each other. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, even when I stream, when I run a game or I play in a game and it's not on stream, I still think part of my job is being entertaining for my fellow players so that we are all having fun together, right? Which means that like I want to do something that'll give them a chance to shine or something, right? Like you want to, I don't know, something, a cool move. Like even in a combat heavy game, you want to like have a cool, like something to make it entertaining. And there is a sort of game that does not do any of those things. The audio bad, the lighting is bad. They don't make it entertaining. Also, it seems to each other. Very low energy, but not low energy in a cool, mysterious way, but just like low energy. And there are a bunch of those games. And excitement, not malaise. Yeah, very malaisey. And there are a lot of stream games that sound like they're underwater. Yes, yeah. So like it sounds like they're underwater. It's all very malaisey. And some of the very few GURPS games I've seen were like that. And I was like, ugh, this is not going to help. This makes this game look very boring because nothing is happening ever. And so the GURPS games I've seen have been in that quality on that end of the spectrum. And I would like to see some GURPS games that are here, you know, like in the middle of that spectrum. Real talk, Trooper, sometimes the sound on Coalesce isn't the best. Talk to me about that, Krellin. Talk to me about that. I think, that's about balance, right? You're talking about balance, where one of the players' mic might be too quiet. That is always, the levels of the players vary wildly. And that is always a problem when you are running a stream through Zoom. The only way around that, I think, because as the showrunner, I cannot adjust people's mics individually. I will say they all have good mics, but the audio levels are not always the same, and that is just a long time problem when you're running remote games. The only way around it that I can think of to fix that audio level problem with a remote game, because it's not going to happen through Zoom, is if I bought a mixer, either a physical mixer or a virtual mixer, and then used Chrome and use, I think, ClearPlay, I think it is, which then puts everybody's audio inputs on a different signal, and then hand mixed the signals themselves, each one individually, and then put that into OBS on different channels, so that then I could mix each individual player's line that way. Tricky things about this is, one, Chrome does not always work very well on Macs or Linux. Well, especially Macs. I can't speak too much about Linux, but I can speak about Macs, because Chrome is a RAM hog, so it can be a little bit tricky to sort of interface that. So far, I will say the only game I've ever been in out of all the games I've been in that has done that has been A State of Affairs. A State of Affairs is the only one that has done that, has sort of gone through and done that particular mode. So I might have to think about it. Half-Hours Hermit said, it's a tricky balance for community channels with so many variables in terms of sound, camera quality. You want to give new folks a chance. You want to help people get to meet other people and not always have the same popular faces. Yep. At the same time, you kind of need those popular faces when you know they're good and bring active chat members, or at least they have good mics. The vMix allows you to tech people's audio and cam, but it's expensive. Discord allows you to adjust people's level individually. Yeah. Yeah, that's also a thing that Discord has often been very unreliable. I've been on a couple of games that have used Discord audio, and very often audio problems end up happening, wherein like people just start cutting out and I cannot hear them parts of the time. That has been an experience I've had when I've been in streamed games that use Discord as audio, is that there have been some audio problems that have been, and like what ends up happening, because like I'm a player, I'm not a GM on that one, so like I'm just playing, and so usually what ends up happening is that I just smile and nod. Like people will say things to me when I'm in a Discord audio game, and sometimes I just, when it's not being streamed, I find it's actually not when it's not, yeah, but when I just find it ends up being a problem, and I'm just like, oh well, I don't. Yeah, like I'm pretty good at guessing what people are saying when like half their stuff cuts out. And I'm talking about like, and I'm not talking about like it's muddy. I'm talking about like data drops, like, you know, the audio. Oh, thank you. Like audio cuts out, and I'm like, oh, right. So yeah, and it's hard. You have to try to get 310 to Yuma. So I mean, I might look into for season 2 of the Foxhole, looking into doing an experiment with the clear play. Rissa says, I'm in a non-stream remote game and Discord is not great for audio, at least for me. Yeah, I've had, I've been in some where it was not great at all, and I've been in some where it was okay. But, and this is another thing, Discord audio and Macs don't play well together in certain ways. So, for example, when I'm on a Mac and I'll have, because I've been in other games where I've been in some games where the audio was actually problematic. I've been in some games where the audio wasn't bad, but Zoom and Discord don't play well together. So if, and this was a channel that wanted you to push to talk, like you had to push to talk. So if Zoom is forward, which I usually have it so I can people's faces, so make sure everyone's fair, and I push to talk, it causes errors. Like I get the like that kind of like error beep. So I have to have Discord forward if I want to have push to talk, if I want to be able to push to talk. And so I always have to basically toggle between Discord and Zoom if I want to talk at all. And it's just like, yeah. So what I might do is I will look into, I tried to record the audio levels, because Zoom will allow you to record audio channels separately, but I actually don't think that recording the audio channels separately on Zoom while also recording from OBS works well. I tried it, it didn't work out. It basically caused problems, and I had to restart the stream. So we'll not do that. But I'm thinking about looking into sort of like as an experiment to see if it will work for the next season of shows on my channel, where I will try the Chrome and see if it will be, if I can do individual channels and see if it will work. Discord is mostly okay for my private group, but we don't stream, play late at night, and don't mind repeating ourselves. Yeah. Artie Snask, I use Discord for my remote non-stream games, and while it isn't perfect, it works well enough for what we are doing with it. There are occasional issues, though, yeah, which wouldn't be good for streaming. Now, the plus side is that it's free, and I know people use it for that because it's free. So what I think I might do is I might try this. I'm going to look into this clear play a little bit more to see. I'm going to talk to some people about that, and then I'm going to maybe try it out. And that, because if I can get, now of course I will say this, that even if you perfectly level out the players, the minute they start getting the minute they start doing a Jackie Dash and start getting really excited, they might blow out levels. And because I am working as a GM as well as tech, I won't be able to sit unless I won't, well, if I had well, this is interesting. I don't know if I would be able to, if I had a physical board, if I had a physical mixing board, I might be able to mix on the fly because it's right here physically and I don't have to sort of do cursor stuff. I wouldn't have to like move my cursor over here up or down. But if I had a mixing board that was a physical mixing board, I could probably mix on the fly while we're playing a little bit more easily than if I didn't. I'd have to think about it. Yeah. Zoom works well for my home games, says Hellfrost Hermit. For the stream ones, I'm quite grateful for the levels of fine-tuning vMix allows. That was pretty overwhelming at first. Auto sliders, scene changes, roller capture, chroma key adjustments for those with green screen. vMix. I'm going to look into it. Hellfrost Hermit, I'm going to look into vMix. And what I'm going to look into is A, is it Mac compatible? B, what burden does it put on my players, right? Because with players, players have Zoom. It's really easy for them. They don't have to buy. Like, I wouldn't want my players to have to spend any money. That's another, it's one of the reasons why I like Roll20 is because my players don't have to spend any money. Whereas that's not always the case with some of the other ones. I need a Shure 412 mic. It's a standard push-to-talk corporate mic. I just need a mixer interface to get it onto the computer. Oh, yeah. Plus, call-ins are browser-based, which helps with not overwhelming players when they need with the tech they need. So, oh, that's good. Okay. And maybe our game is 7 to 10 p.m., so prime internet time for our zone. Maybe. Yeah, that could be it. Goober screaming is something you can't prep equipment for. Gotta remind the person. This is true. Do a test stream to get the little set. Although, if you have the good feedback, you should be able to see it... like on your, like, I don't need to do a test stream if it's all going through OBS because I can see my levels. Like, I can see the levels of everything, so I can like just adjust them here. No. Anna might have a mixer she wants to get rid of if she hasn't already. I don't know if she legally can, Krellin, because there's the thing about like it's a non-profit, right? So it's a little bit tricky. The little Behringer homeboard isn't bad for the money. That's true. Behringer does some good stuff. Oh, and when the one connection drops, the cams don't get fucked up. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I much prefer Zoom to the other options I've tried when it comes to remote gaming, but as a non-streamer, I don't have the same bandwidth requirements. No money, no download, and need for players. Well, I will check out to see if it's Mac compatible and look into it. Thank you, Havarst. I will look into it because maybe we'll get like, next level excitement for season 2. Rizzo Incorporated personal equipment. This terminal is the sole property of Z Blackwood. Access by any person other than Z Blackwood is unauthorized. Consult your Rizzo employee handbook for fines. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure you should sell it and donate the money or donate it to your nonprofit. There's like weird, like I remember Anna was talking about it at one point in time that there were weird rules about that. And that was one of the reasons why there was trickiness about like transferring stuff. Cause like, I think that she could only give it to other nonprofits. There was weirdness about like how it would work. I don't know all the details. Look, before we go, we're going to read this. Something stinks about these evac prep procedures. I know that terrors were expensive, but shipping them out of here isn't going to be easy. Even the hunters are recommending we let them loose outside the gates. I don't go where we're taking them with us anyway. Someone up the chain must really believe in the project. Ooh. It's 2343, by the way. I'm copying my meeting notes for posterity. Still can't shake this feeling that they're hiding something. Town meeting. Sumner. Called the meeting to discuss preparations for immediate departure. Pauline, platitudes, assurance that nobody's being fired. Explains that jobs await us all on Terra 2. More platitudes. Top management is very pleased with Project Tarot and wants to ensure its assets are preserved. McClure, so the project isn't being scuttled. Sumner, no, just moved off Terra 1. Violette, but how will we transport the Taros? Ted. Hunters will assist us in safely moving them onto the shuttle. Violette, it was hard enough getting them into cages in the first place. Me, what about the Raptidons? We've seen more and more of them around town. Sumner, assurances that Raptidons are not interested in the Taros. Me, but the hunters are saying, Sumner, no more about the Taros. Floor is now open for general questions. Cicero, how many shuttles are incoming? Pauline, we don't know, at least one. Me, one isn't enough for all of us plus the damn Taros. Sumner, let's worry about that when the evac arrives. Sumner, looks like we're running out of time. Thanks for coming, everyone, and keep up the great work. Bad, everybody. Like that. That's bad. Let's see. We're fucked. Shuttle landed on the pad. We started moving tarot cages. Some of them broke. Birds everywhere. Talons everywhere. Even the clipped ones turned out they can run. Who knew? Then the raps got in. I don't know how. Must be a hole in the wall somewhere. There was. Maybe they can dig. Fuck. They were all over the taros at first, then us. Someone in the other upper management were already on the shuttle. Raps got near the pad. Someone panicked. They left us. Void take their black hearts. They left us. Got a few homes stabilized, but isn't going to last. Rats everywhere. They caught scent of what's in the bottling plant, and now they're nesting. We need to move. Going to have to book it south across the bridge, cordon off half the town. I've been trying to hail corporate, but none of my messages are getting through. I don't think help's coming. Cecil insists corporate won't abandon us, but I saw that shuttle. There wasn't enough room for us and the birds. Someone up there made a decision, and it wasn't for our well-being. Rotten bastards. I make it out of this mess, I'm coming for them. Ooh. Well. Well, that looked bad. Look, we're going to stop the stream, but we have to stop the stream when we're in a stopping point, which we are currently not, because we're in a building. And when I say stopping point, what I mean is a place where when I start up again next week, I will know where I am and what I've done and what I haven't done. That's really what I mean. So I feel like we just get out of the building. And after having thoroughly looted it, and then we should be good. Boom. Like that. And we're good. Yeah, we stop. So yeah, no, seriously, I'm going to, Half-Hour's Hermit, I will look at vMix and I'll see if it's Mac compatible. Go directly to base. All right, so here we are. We did the console part. We did this building. We are here. I think we should stop right here. Right? And I'm going to start fading this way. So when we start next week, we know we need to move around this spot. We're going to save the game. We did a lot of work today, everybody. We got a lot of gaming done. I'm very proud of myself. Right? I'm very proud of myself. Okay. We got stuff done. I'm pretty proud of ourselves. We basically finished more or less a mission and we got through. Hey, you're welcome, Toph Gear. So here's what's what, everybody. I'm going to look into vMix. Half-Hour's Hermit, I'm going to look into vMixed. And vMix lets you do separate audio channels as well, which means if I had separate audio channels, I can see how that might interface with... oh, thank you. Hey, Atomica. Look at the reminder you gave me. Let's see who's live right now. Let's see who's live. Distracted Elf is live. We could do that. We could do Distracted Elf. Let's do Distracted Elf, everybody. Thanks. I was going to forget to raid. I was like, food. Let's raid Distracted Elf. And, right... this is our raid command. We're gonna go and raid Distractive Elf. So let's raid Distractive Elf and say hi. And then I'm gonna look into are they playing right now? They are. Okay, we're gonna do a raid. So I want to thank everybody for being here. If you want, you can follow me, you can subscribe, you can hang out in our Discord, because we have a Discord. Those are our socials. There's our Discord, Trooper SJP for YouTube, Academic Foxhole for Twitter, and also Patreon. You can hang out with us, do your stuff. And take care of yourself. I will catch you on the flip side. I'm going to check out vMix and figure out how to do this and see if that will make everything better, because that could be very, very cool. And then I will catch you on the flip side. Let's do a raid, and you know, if you want, did I use our raid command, and it'll be good. I don't know yet, Ice Bunny. We'll see. So take care, everybody. Catch you on the flip side, and we're gonna do a raid.